Take this bit. And I think we are now live on YouTube. Oh! Wait till anybody turns up. Might be someone, the odd person here or there.
Just walking by, you know.
Just walking by, I happen to say, oh, what's this going on here? Before we introduce what's going on. Well, I'll probably do. It's Mr. Ant's World of Prince, and this is Graffiti Bridge. We're live. 30th anniversary, what we like to call conversation rather than loose conversation. We've just nothing planned, just chat about the whole kind of era and the album, the movie, the tour, you know, kind of like, think of it like just sitting around in a pub with your mates, Prince mates, having a drink, chatting Prince, you know.
This is exactly how I was going to put it. Exactly.
Yeah.
There are shows which have meticulous research and a whole array of guests, but we are just like, you've wandered into a pub, there's two people talking about Prince, and you wander over and go, oh my God, I like Prince too. And then you just sit in the pub and talk to them about Prince. I mean, exactly
what we did last week.
This is like the Weatherspoons of the Prince
Weatherspoons, not Paisley Park. We got Weatherspoons.
We're just, you know, basically two guys in a pub talking about, you know,
talking about Prince. Sounds like an album. Two guys in a pub talking about Prince.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, Tiny Delta Blues. Hello there. Vault Curator. Elliot Twiller. Hey. SW Studio Productions. Hello. LG. Hello everybody. Hello. And why are we here?
I didn't realise there was a plan. Now you tell me.
A plan. Oh, that's a good track. Well, we're obviously here to talk about it's 30. Can you believe 30 years ago? I can't believe 30 years ago Graffiti Bridge was released. 1990. It was just this week, I think, was the anniversary, wasn't it, of the actual album's release? The movie came in November, I think, wasn't it? The movie.
Well, you've already made me feel really old because this is the. Although I got into Prince like you with Batman, Graffiti Bridge was the first album I bought as it came out. So this is 30 years since I first had that experience of walking in. I'm pretty sure at the supermarket to buy the Graffiti Bridge album, and I remember they all had a big chart, you know, like of all the positions, and you had a choice of vinyl or cassette, and I chose cassette because I wanted to listen to it in the car on the way home. My mum was driving, and I was only about 14, 15, and my mum was driving, and I put the cassette in and listened to it, and it was all going fine until we got to release it, and my mum misheard Morris, and she thought they didn't say let's get this party funkin', right? And what did he say? Mum, it was funk. It was funk.
It was funk. How many times? We can funk until the dawn. Is it?
I still remember those first few seconds, you know, with the dear dad, it didn't things didn't turn out quite like I wanted them to, and that explosions, like
I know.
Anyway, I'll get ahead of myself. Sorry.
That's fine. No, it's fine. Yeah, like you know, Batman obviously the year before, and all I remember about that summer of 1990 was hearing "Thieves in the Temple" on Capital Radio over and over. It really was played a lot. Prince, heavy rotation on the radio. Could you imagine that? Amazing, you know. And I just remember about that summer. It was amazing, and borrowing the album off of a girlfriend at the time on the cassette, like you. Never gave it back. Sorry. Still got the tape somewhere.
you player, you absolute player. You borrowed her cassette, didn't give it back. I hope that wasn't the real reason you were dating this girl.
Well, I saw that, you know, Love Sexy there, Graffiti Bridge. Oh, can I borrow those? And amazing. I just always remember, you know, the first time I heard Question of You, just unbelievable, you know, unbelievable. So many highlights on that album. And again, it always reminds me a little bit of Batman. It's got some of the tracks on the album. It still has that vibe about it, that Batman, because obviously some of them were recorded around the same period. And we know now some of them were early 80s, as we've found out from 1999 Deluxe, you know, incredible. Bold Generation and things like that, you know.
I was actually looking at bizarrely at the Graffiti Bridge, the actual song itself, and according to Prince Vault, which is the Bible on these things, the
good old Prince Vault,
it was actually it marks the earliest recording from Paisley Park Studios to be released with Prince vocals. So there are other songs there, but it's the earliest recording from Paisley Park Studios to be released with Prince vocals, recorded on 11th of July 1987. So
wow.
I never knew that.
No, wow, there you go. Amazing. Tony Delta Blues, guys. Love come quick, love come and hurry. They're thieves in the temple tonight. There still are. Vault Curator 85. Well, that's when you got into Prince. Wow. Again, guys, anyone who is watching, if you put in your thoughts and comments about Graffiti Bridge or memories, please, let's get a conversation going about what you remember about it, what you loved, what you didn't like, whatever, about everything, the album. Did you go to the Nude Tour, one of the 36,000 shows you did at Wembley Arena that summer? Wow. How many was it? 16, I think, wasn't it, or something?
That was my first tour. I had a friend, well, a friend of my mum's, and he was really into Prince, and he took me to that tour. And I remember, because it was a huge drive, it's the first time I've been to a big concert. And I remember for some reason they played Janet Jackson on the way there a lot. They were really into Janet Jackson as well. And we got to the arena, and they left a sign on the car tied to like an aerial. Trying to explain aerials to people nowadays is probably a bit difficult, but for your radio back in the day. But they had a little sign on it saying "Get Nude." And we sort of went in there, and it was it's almost too much to take in your first concert, I think, when you see the lights and you saw the performance, you saw, I think, Question of You and Electric Man, and that interpolation. It was just amazing. And Prince was in this kind of like I say, very much the Graffiti Bridge style, the black and white, the kind of, there was a scene where I think my memory might fail, but I think it was Party Man, I'm not sure, where there was one track he did, and they do the bit where they pick him up and basically drag him off, and he sort of escapes and comes back to the mic. It's like the only way to get Prince off the mic was to just drag him away. It was just, that was such a stripped down tour. The weird thing about it is, at the time, it was called the Nude Tour because it was like supposed to be this very, like I say, very basic, very stripped down tour. But if you look at it now, in comparison to, say, microphone, piano, microphone, it looks like a full elaborate production with dancers, kind of the male dance, the Game Boys, the kind of like the whole kind of everything's, kicking off.
There's still a full light show. There's still ramps and firemen's poles and God knows what else. But I suppose in comparison to the extravagance of Love Sexy, which obviously almost broke him. I think it was like financially.
I think what you said, Love Sexy was pretty much. I think it was only the Japanese part of the tour that actually
made money.
Yeah. Which is mad when you look at those stadiums, how full they were. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I didn't go to the Nude Tour. My cousin went to the Nude Tour. I remember him coming back, and I remember looking at the program. He showed it to me, and him raving about him doing Nothing Compares to You, because obviously at the time, Sinead O'Connor was everywhere with her cover version, and obviously only being a Prince fan for a year or so, I didn't know Prince had wrote it then, because I was only 15, 16. So, and then he said, Prince did Nothing Compares to You, just on the piano, and it was amazing. He was going on about how amazing it was. Hi, John, if you're out there watching. My cousin, and I was like, oh man, you're so lucky. And I always remember there's like in Croydon, there was like a ticket office place. They had a big Alders, and there was a shopping mall you could walk through. And I always remember there was always this board there for Prince tickets, because it was going on all summer, But I wasn't able to go at the time. But I really wish I had. But
it was strange. I think people forget. Like I said, that Sinead kind of the version of Nothing Compares to You was huge. It's hard to kind of get your head around how huge it was, because you don't have that nowadays necessarily, where things are big hits for week after week after week after week, month after month, and they're like sell millions and millions, and they're huge sellers. It was just everywhere you looked on TV, it was playing that video. And especially because she'd even though she'd been around for a while, she kind of, for a lot of people, just come out of nowhere, and it was crazy, and how
she'd had hits in the early 80s, and she'd even done different stars as well. And there's a track, I think it's of all things, I think it's Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and she's on the soundtrack of that with like a track with hip hop. So called like put your arms around it, put them on me. He gets put them on like that, and he's like, and it's Sinead O'Connor. He's like, what?
She's done a few songs recently with Fourth and Vine, and really amazing stuff. And it's kind of it's interesting how at the time it just it was weird, because obviously then it got a bit acrimonious. I remember Sinead accused Prince of many things. Then she also accused him of there's a bit where she said, I saved his arse, basically. She said, basically, I saved him financially, which is mad. I remember when that happened, I think Paisley Park had announced that had profits of about 20-25 million that year. So I mean, things weren't as terrible as perhaps they always were.
No, exactly.
He was still doing fine. And like I said, the Nude Tour was that. I like the idea though, like the idea of stripping it down, just very much about the music. It wasn't about. It was
about the hits as well, wasn't it? I know he was saying about saying about going to a James Brown concert or something. He was saying and not having any of the songs that or something, wasn't it? Or,
yeah.
I remember it's something about that. He was talking about that. He wanted to give people what they knew. Finally, 5 years later, he did the complete opposite.
Well, this is the interesting thing that you've got this stripped down version, and within a couple of years, you end up with Diamonds and Pearls and the Act 1 and 2, which is they're like huge productions. There's Theatre, there's Mai Tai, there's Diamonds and Pearls. There's floating beds.
I mean, love symbol lighting rigs, star backdrops, lasers. It's just
he went completely the other way, didn't he? After that.
Yeah, he must have made a good bit of money so he could afford it, or push the boat out a little bit, But I think that was a period then, that early 90s bit. Around Diamonds and Pearls, you had the Dangerous Tour as well, and U2 and things like that, and even Pink Floyd did big gigs. It was cool. There was a thing about it was about a big show at that period in time, wasn't it? Big production, and I think people were trying to outdo each other around that time. I think that's why you had that.
I thought, how else I find it? I must admit, I find Graffiti. I find it a bit strange where you've got Prince's career right up until Lovesexy, and then for me, it's a really weird thing to say, but Batman and Graffiti Bridge are kind of an odd situation, because afterwards you go on to Diamonds and Pearls and the Love Symbol, and you've got to go the Symbol album. You go on to that, but Batman, obviously at the time, Warner Brothers weren't very keen on putting out another album. They thought he'd already put out quite a bit. But they said, well, this is going to be a big success. The film's going to be huge, so we're happy to do this because we know it's guaranteed to sell well because the films are huge. I mean, people forget again how big that film was, and so they thought this isn't a risk, even though we didn't really want another Prince album quite yet. This is, because after Lovesexy was a little bit controversial. We're going to go with Batman, but then Graffiti Bridge obviously Prince was intending to do that after Lovesexy, and like I said, a lot of the tracks had been. It's almost, some people have described it as a kind of quasi vault album in a sense. You've got things like Tick Tick Bang from way back. And lots of songs. I mean, these are typical aside, but you've got lots of songs where from Can't Stop This Feeling I Got from way back as well. He's brought in all these collection of songs, and he's brought in this I almost think about it in a bizarre way of an extended Purple Rain idea, in the sense of that, first of all, obviously he's got the film, which is basically Purple Rain 2 in a number of kind of ways.
Well, you've got very loosely,
in the same sort of idea of having a club and fighting in Morris, but loosely. But then secondly, you've also got the fact that he's basically do what he didn't do in Purple Rain, which is include the songs from the other artists. Because obviously in Purple Rain he didn't include Apollonia songs on the album, he didn't include the Time songs or Des Dickinson songs. So you got that, and I always think of the bit in Still Would Stand All Time. That is meant to be in Graffiti Bridge. That's the Purple Rain of Graffiti Bridge, in the sense of it's meant to serve that function. It's meant to be the song that brings everything together. That they say Prince has kind of settled everything with that. And I was thinking about that a lot, because I was thinking, what other song could have done that, on that album? And I can't really think of one, but the only one I could think of was an outtake of the Grand Progression.
What a track!
Because I mean, obviously, in the film, he was talking about in the ideas of the film, he was talking about the 17 notes that form the grand progression, and the whole film was supposed to be about. He was looking for this magical set of notes and this magical set of keys that would lift into the grand progression. So it's obviously key to his thinking about Graffiti Bridge. So I almost think in his mind, was he thinking, I'll put grand progression in that slot.
That would have been very powerful. I mean, anyone who's heard that track, I mean, oh my god!
I mean, I wonder if that could have worked. I think that could have, found the ground.
It could have done.
I think it was supposed to have these keys, and it sort of lights up.
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect thing, but I think maybe I'd love to see that. But yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful chat. Oh, we got Abby Helms. Hello. Tony Delta Booze. Did Prince say he bought a house off the back of Nothing Compares to You? Yes, he did. He did that at the Hop Farm gig. He said that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that when he said about Sinead O'Connor, and then some people in the crowd booed, and he go, no, she bought me a house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that song bought me a house, because
that song bought me a house. Yeah.
He did that with obviously the other property he had with which he bought through New Power Soul. And sort of, I like the idea of like this album or this song paid for this house.
That's right. You see this ring? See this cane? It's been wonderful. Still love that.
I just really think that it's interesting how Prince held on to the idea, because, like I say, he was very ready for Graffiti Bridge. Then Batman came in, and Batman had to happen when it had to happen.
Yeah.
And so then he really carries on, and I
mean, if you look at it, you could say Graffiti Bridge is almost like a crystal ball of its time, like a Vault Tracks collection, in a way. He added a couple of new tracks for it, but as you say, many of them we know, Still Stand All Time was literally invented on, what was it, the Love Sexy tour, when he wrote it in the hotel, some of it, and that famous after show performance where they're all singing it wrong. Who keeps saying word? Where is it?
I love that, because he puts up with people singing it wrong.
Yeah, so many times.
And he puts up again, and he puts up again, and then he's like, "Who's that fool still singing?"
Who's that fool saying would when it's will ever? So that was 88. So there was a lot of stuff that was around, as you say. Tick Tick Bang, right back from Dirty Mind. Yeah. So
I think you got Tick Tick Bang. It was 81, the original version. Can't Stop This Feeling in 82. Weekend Funk in 83. It wasn't called Weekend Funk to begin with.
No. Great
Question for You is 85. 86. Latest Fashion 87. So I mean, it's interesting, and it's interesting as well, because you've got Pandemonium, the Time album, and that's a lot of people are really appreciating that album a lot recently. They're saying that it's actually a lot better than it should have done better and been a bigger thing, because I think Prince was really pushing the whole satellite acts or co-act, and I remember seeing an interview with Tevin Campbell. It was on one of those morning TVs, sort of GMTV or whatever, and he was talking about Michael Jackson, he was talking about Prince, and he was talking about and obviously they were pushing Round and Round as a single. They were talking about Melody Call and Mavis Staples. They were George Clinton, The Time, Jimmy Jam. Everybody was like, everybody was there.
I know, yeah. But then there's some old tracks on that Pandemonium, isn't there? There's stuff like, or older tracks like Data Bank and I love the Prince version of that.
Yeah.
It's just so fantastic, I didn't cue the horns, or something starts going. Who cued it? I didn't ask for that. Lisa, where you, Lisa? Play the piano.
It's an interesting comment by Flaming Red 24. It said Michael Bland said in his interview with Dr. Funkaberry that his first drum session was the grand progression, and it was originally meant for Graffiti Bridge, which is fantastic.
Wow.
I mean, I think that would have worked really well. I rarely say this. I think usually Prince kind of got it pretty much on, but I would probably go the grand progression ahead of Still Would Stand All Time. I mean, a perfectly crisp version of the grand progression, I think would actually be...
Prince on the piano there in the glam slam, everyone around him. That'd have been quite good, wouldn't it? But as we know, we'll get to talk about the movie in a little while. There's some interesting stuff in there. Vault curator Susan, feed it out. That's right. Yeah. Great track. Yeah, man. So it's interesting you say, because they all got on the album at that time, as you said. But Purple Rain, he pushed their individual albums. So you had the Times album, you had Apollonia's album, Purple Rain, and this time, although you did have Pandemonium, obviously, which there are tracks on Pandemonium that are in the movie, Sexy Socialites, stuff like that. That's in there, isn't there? I watched the movie the other day again just to refresh myself.
Because I have seen people say, some people have said they want just the Prince tracks, and they want the kind of like the other artists not on the album. But then some people say no, this makes the whole project much more cohesive package. But I can't imagine the album without it. I suppose, like I say, when you hear it as he intended it, it's it's obviously the way he meant it, and you get used to that. But the thing about Graffiti Bridge, in a sense, I think, and it sounds as this could sound, I don't know, I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but I always think it's kind of, its individual parts are sometimes obscure. Some of the tracks on there are the best tracks Prince has ever done. I think when you look at Question of You, when you look at Joy and Repetition, you look at these tracks, you think these are remarkable Prince tracks.
Stellar tracks.
Yeah. But then you also think that in terms of all the opening songs Prince has had, I don't find Can't Stop This Feeling I Got as like, the one I sort of gravitate towards. And obviously, I would say probably of most of the Prince albums, Graffiti Bridge, the song, probably gets more criticism as a title track than probably most other Prince albums. It's like he had to write the song for Graffiti Bridge and he had to do it. But,
but talking about the opening track, this is going to sound like funny. My favourite part of the opening track is the end. Not because it's finished, because I love the bass bit that comes in, goes boom, 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 right at the very end as it fades out. I love that bit. It's so funky. It's like, oh man, where's that been the whole track?
I think my favourite bit is when he says, I'm in a butt kicking mood tonight, Joel.
Oh, I know, that's really good, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, there's actually a bit in. He obviously intended to put it in Graffiti Bridge, where there's a bit of the outtakes of the film where he's dancing in front of Glam Slam, and it's very theatrical. It's very singing in the rain, kind of. He's spinning about, dancing, Can't Stop This Feeling I Got out. It's very Broadway, and I think that's the thing. I think that in a sense that ties into the Graffiti Bridge song, because that's very kind of you imagine it like a musical in a theatre, and like everybody's like the end finale, and everybody's saying everybody fights Graffiti Bridge, and all the angels come down, and it's all
Yeah, because I think that the end of the movie, obviously it got chopped about so much. There's so much stuff that doesn't match and mixes up at the end, and you go, what the hell is happening here? As we said before, suddenly the timer got a big float, as we would call them, as he calls it. Someone's painted my skillet.
My skillet.
Yeah, we call them a float in the UK, and you go, where'd that come from? I mean, that wasn't there a minute ago. You've got Prince doing Tick Tick Bang, the Pandemonium, just like, yeah, okay. And that's interesting in itself, because it's not, it is an odd track to kind of, if you're trying to prove yourself, we're having a battle of the jams. And it's almost, did he pick it on purpose? Because they are all sit there sort of half asleep going, yeah, this is like, what are you doing? And they wander off unimpressed, and obviously Prince goes off. And then the next thing you know, he's doing Still Would Stand All Time, after he sees Aura and she talks him down and he goes back, and suddenly the timer outside on a float. Look, where'd that come from? What's that?
I'm convinced that they were using that for like the latest fashion. I'm convinced there was like
must have been an extra bit
for the latest fashion, and I think they use it in the latest fashion, but then they cut that out and just use it as like background music after Tick Tick Bang. And because they cut it out, like I say, then it jumps forward and you're like,
where'd that come from? Yeah. Continuity, what's happened? And you have to kind of go, okay, that's weird. And then there's a whole bit afterwards where he's, where they're all happy again, and he's walking past it, and Robin Power, Robin's got someone take your man. Oh, I'll laugh that. Let me plant somebody. But it's my skillet. Someone painted my skillet.
even Robin gets her songs,
Oh,
I'll be your number one.
Right. I won't be number one. Oh, no, I won't be number 5, and I won't be number 4. I
think that's the thing. It's you've got to look at almost Graffiti Bridge, I think, as a play, as a kind of play about capitalism versus kind of art and religion. And you've got this thing where Prince is trying to do the spiritual thing, as Morris calls it, and Morris is all about making money and he wants to take over. But it's a very strange, it's a very closeted thing, because obviously
it's almost
it's not.
Yes, it's quite claustrophobic, isn't it, in a way? There's very little scenes that are actually shot on location outside, and it's almost like music videos with a little story interwoven throughout them, like 3 Chains of Gold, a bit like Moonwalker. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker movie was a bit like that. There was no story really, or a tiny little bit of acting. It was mainly all about the performance.
Well, that's the thing. I think the only scene I got really brings it into the real world is like there's a bit where Prince and Aura are like in a sort of town centre or somewhere or something. But I think that Purple Rain had that gritty reality. You felt like he's going to lose his job, he's going to get kicked out, he's got there's issues at home with his parents, and there's a real earthiness, a real reality. It's a bit rough around the edges, and it kind of gives that thing. Whereas I think obviously Graffiti Bridge, there's a lot of it's more about an idea about, you know, this kind of, you know, money versus art, which to be fair actually is really important in Prince's career, because obviously lots of times he did things for art, and sometimes he was more commercially focused, like in Diamonds and Pearls, or, you know, or even the musicology era. And then other times he went completely the other way and said, I'm going to do Slaughterhouse, I'm going to do Rainbow Children, you know. And so it's an interesting balance, really. So I think that's obviously then that's without, you know, Madonna, who was originally supposed to be
I know, Ruthie Washington, or whatever it was. I think the character, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, obviously you can see a lot of people like this film. No one's commenting. Hasn't anybody got any thoughts about the movie? Come on, where are you all? Oh dear. Purple Love from the States. Hey, hello. RN. Vault Curator, we've never heard it with drums. I'd love to hear that. Oh, that's Grand Progression, isn't it? Talking about that. Yeah. But no, you know, come on, guys. What's your thoughts on this movie? I mean, it's got a huge score on Rotten Tomatoes, widely panned, went straight to VHS in the UK. Trying to think about how many screens actually opened in America. It wasn't many. It was cut down. I think we're talking less than 1,000 screens. I think it was, wasn't it?
I love that when you consider that at some point, you know, originally Madonna was going to be involved and that didn't happen. There was a time when Kim Basinger was going to be involved, and then that didn't happen. Then I feel sorry for Jill Jones, because she kind of, you know, she was going to be playing Aura apparently, and then she got kind of sidelined for obviously Ingrid Fairs, who I love. I don't mean, you know, anything Ingrid's fantastic about. I'm saying it's kind of interesting how Jill Jones was playing a bigger role in Purple Rain, and she's supposed to be sitting at a piano playing Wednesday and stuff like that, and she sort of gets her role gets minimized. Then it gets minimized again in Graffiti Bridge. So I feel a bit sorry for her, Jill, with that situation.
Yeah, she always seems to get the short straw, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Although at least she did have more to do in Graffiti Bridge than she did in Purple Rain. She had a few more lines, and you know, with that famous scene.
Yes, I mean Purple Rain, pretty much just, bless her, she was serving drinks and crying again, but bless her. But
I know, Graffiti Bridge, you know, good Jill's working at Morris's now. We can't forget that bit.
Oh dear, it's like I say, it's one of those films that like I say, it's more about the idea. It is more of a I think Vault Curator's actually got a really good point there. It in a sense, it is very much like a 3 Chains of Gold, like a Love for another TV special, in the sense of you pulling together these videos, and like I say, the storyline is quite small, because I remember when they first did the treatment of it, I can't remember who it was that said Prince came up with these handwritten notes, and they said, okay, is this your, you know, idea? We'll kind of develop that, but, you know, and he said, no, this is it, this is all of it, this is what's, you know, the story is. And I think it's just, like I say, perhaps there's not enough. Do you know, I think the biggest thing is there's not enough, what's the word, perhaps danger. It's not, what made Purple Rain was so great is you really at the time thought this could go either way, you know. Prince's dad, you know, was close to killing himself. Prince's mum was suffering domestic violence. Prince was going to lose his job, he was going to lose his girlfriend, he was struggling with those demons, whereas it feels a little almost too safe, in the sense of in Graffiti Bridge, although he's battling, his dad has gone, and he's kind of battling this idea of, you know, I don't want it to be about money, I want it to be about what I believe in. You have that idea, but and Morris, to be fair, Morris does, steals the show.
Steals the show as always. Morris and Jerome always so watchable. I mean, they're the best thing about it. I mean, you just gotta love them. That's Morris E.D. He's posing by the Porsche.
I would love to see some outtakes. I bet they must have had some outtakes.
Yeah.
With
lots of call It's Okay, Vault Curator. If it was framed more like 3 Chains of Gold, i.e. a lot of music videos ripped together by loose story, I would have appreciated it more. Yeah. What have we got? I think it was about 10 years ahead of its time. On the Madonna note, she stole Justify My Love from Ingrid Chavez. Yeah, we know all about that.
Ingrid sued because
Ingrid sued.
She co-wrote it with Lenny Kravitz.
It's written by Lenny Kravitz, exactly, with Ingrid Chavez. Yeah,
and that was kept quiet because Ingrid and Lenny were an item at the time, and
exactly.
she did sue for that and got the recognition and some some cash, I presume.
Exactly. That line, what is your main problem? I use that way more than I should. That's what my wife says to me every morning.
That scene is brilliant. I love that bit when he goes, when Morris is like, "You're still wet behind the ears."
I know. Yout. And everyone's got, you ever recently Peach and Black podcast? We love Peach and Black podcast. Come on, give some love for Peach and Black podcast. They did their review of Pandemonium, and they were going on about, yount. What the hell was yount? What's yount? Yount. Oh dear.
Fulcrum says about the draft scripts. I think it was at least 4 draft scripts. I mean, I've seen, obviously with the outtakes, you see the bit where they have the famous sort of hanging scene, and it changed so much. I think because Prince was, working on, he's touring it and trying to sort it out, and it evolved, so much from what it was, the original kind of grand progression, the original kind of idea.
Yeah, I mean, you can find those clips on YouTube. Some, I don't know if they're still up, but they were the outtakes. I mean, they're very poor quality, but you can find the bit where he hangs himself, whatever. It's like, it's pretty dark stuff actually. That's going on in there. But yeah, you can see why that was cut out. But the
interesting thing is he sort of was working on this sort of 87. So I mean, they said originally, and then so you've got the situation where he's had to delay it, and it was a risk, because on one hand it looked like a lot of people thought, oh, this is just going to be Purple Rain 2, this is what's going to happen, but the other hand, it's a very different movie, and like I say, it's very much closer to the music videos of the time. He'd already come off the back of Under the Cherry Moon, which didn't do critically very well, so it was affecting that. Even though it was a funny film, it kind of I think it was his last kind of his chance to really make sure he could be a big film star. But I think that the ideas that evolved, and it never quite got to that point where it really seemed to be pulling to. It wasn't quite enough there, and I mean he talks about, obviously, Graffiti Bridge's dad dying. He's visiting his mum in the nursing home, and there's elements of that, but it never feels quite enough. There's something about, I almost think, and this is going to sound a strange thing, but I almost wonder if he was obviously so successful at that time. Graffiti Bridge is very much the story of the upcoming kid, trying to make it, battling against the odds. It's very much the kind of the template that they use in films like 8 Mile and things like that, where you're kind of battling to make it, and you've got that danger, and you've got that gritty reality, and all these bad things are going on, and there's a whole context. Whereas in Graffiti Bridge, it's almost like the outside world doesn't exist. Yeah,
it's all very in a nice bubble. Yeah.
Well, even the crowd, even some of the time in the crowd, like they're just they're almost too perfect. Whereas in Graffiti Bridge, that's what in Purple Rain, there was it's just a collection.
Oh, I mean, they did
every person in the 80s kind of with mad hair and doing whatever.
Oh God, unbelievable. Well, wasn't Camille the main character in its early stages?
Yes, Prince was going to play Camille Blue.
That's it, Camille Blue. Yes,
the main character.
Madonna, Ruthie Washington, and Kat was going to be in it. I think wasn't Kat going to be in it early on? I can't remember if she was going to be in it.
I believe she was.
Wasn't she? Yeah.
Yes, indeed. According to Prince Vault, she. I'm sure I read it somewhere. I can't see it at the moment, but yes, I'm sure she was going to be involved in. I just don't know. It's
There was a lot of history with the project, as you say, and then I know when Prince was on the Nude Tour, as you say, he had to rush back to do editing because it wasn't going right, and try and fix it basically. So I think he knew we got a problem here. But it's still. I'm glad it got made. It's interesting. Yeah. It is interesting. I don't hate it. I've never watched it and thought, oh God, what a load of rubbish. I always find entertaining bits in it. Like Under the Cherry Moon as well. I love that film.
I think Under the Cherry Moon's actually got a bit of a reappreciation recently, in a sense. Take it for what it is. It's kind of comedy and it's fun, and that homage. And I think Graffiti Bridge, like I say, it's a very different film to Purple Rain. You've just got to kind of take it as, like I say, enjoy the music. You've got to and the comedy. And he's trying to put a kind of obviously the spiritual message. And that's a very key part of Prince's battle between money and this battle between art. And I think as an album, it's a very strange mix because it was never really conceived of and written in the way that most people in the world record albums. I mean, Prince doesn't do that anyway. Most people would spend a few months writing songs. They then go into the studio, record the songs. Then a few months later, they mix the songs. Then they release the album, and it's all one thing. Whereas Prince always goes back to the vault and pulls these things in. But here, he really did that. I mean, he really pulled so much from the vault and from different people. It's kind of this real strange mix of some of the great tracks ever, Question of You and Joy and Repetition, and pulling these things together, and the other artists, that it's almost bursting at the seams as an album. It's almost like Diamonds and Pearls is very much written, this is the project, Diamonds and Pearls, this is how it is. It all thematically works pretty well together, and it's all fitted. Whereas Graffiti Bridge is like here, there, everywhere, doing this, doing that.
It goes off on all tangents, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Let's do Shake. Let's do Round and Round.
I know. Taurus 03. Hey, hello. So if you got with GB as fans, we can salvage a lot from it, even if it isn't quite right on the whole. Yep. Don't forget Elephants and Flowers. Oh, that's a great track. That's a great track. I love that. And a nice little you get to see the black cloud guitar in Graffiti Bridge when he's playing that, when he's doing that performance, his black and white outfit, kind of yin and yang kind of thing going on again, isn't there, Have
you been repainting that cloud guitar again? Have you?
Have I repainted it? No, it's still yellow at the moment. I haven't respray it yet. Oh dear.
At least 5 times,
yeah. But would you say Graffiti Bridge, do you think it's aged well, or do you think it sounds dated? And that's because that's interesting, isn't it? Because of the,
I would say the strange thing is, I think Purple Rain really is a classic 80s thing and very much benefits from looking through that 80s prism. And a lot of people, love the 80s era, and that kind of stands up as a product of its time. I think Cherry Moon, in a weird way, is almost outside of aging because it's kind of set in this kind of quasi 1940s kind of look, even though it's not, because obviously lots of things are much more modern, but it's set in that kind of black and white, that classic kind of so in a sense that kind of is almost not immune, but it kind of it's largely protected from aging because of that. So in a sense of all the films, Graffiti Bridge I think it's probably aged the worst in a sense, because it's very much that early 90s thing. I mean, even just looking at the technology, you're looking at Prince's computer then at the time.
Oh, I know, it's terrible.
That was state of the art. He was like pressing the button with a mouse.
He's got a trackball. He's doing it all on a little trackball.
And you were looking at that and thinking, that's amazing. That technology.
I know. And now it really does. Yeah, I was thinking that the other day when I watched it again, thinking, God, what's he using there? Look at that. Yeah, amazing. He
would actually be editing it on tour, wouldn't he, as well? And he'd be doing it with they said the VHS tapes. And still would get wild, still would stand all the time. What have we got? Did someone mention a cloud guitar? Hope Claiborne, hello from Memphis. Joy and Repetition and the Question of You are still timeless to me. Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. The album itself, how would you say with the album as age, considering we're saying it's this hodgepodge of so many different eras from the vault, some of them Prince reworked and what have you, and brought them up, to speed or whatever, so it's interesting. When you listen to it, would you say it's an album of the time, or I mean as in the time it was made, or not the time? Or it's got the time on it.
It's got the time on it, but would you say it's aged well, the album itself, or does it sound dated? Because Richard, we were talking with Mr. Purple Music the other day, and he was saying that he thought Dangerous and Michael Jackson's Teddy Riley stuff sounded really dated now.
Well, it's strange because I mean lots of the tracks, like say Can't Stop This Feeling, got Tick Tick Bang. When you hear obviously the originals, they sound of their time in obviously in the demo form, because they are. But I think I listened the other day, and I think like I say, Joy and Repetition, Question of You, amazing.
Timeless, yeah.
Thieves in the Temple, I still think sounds good. I think it's amazing. I love that. I truly love that track. I think Graffiti Bridge sounded, the actual track didn't sound at its time when it came out.
Yeah,
it sounded it's sort of very much a musical kind of.
It's a Broadway kind of track, like what's that other one? I'll think of it in a minute. On Crystal Ball. It'll come to me in a minute. Keep talking.
But then I suppose, like say, if you look
Strays
at
of the World.
Strays of the World. Oh, Strays of the World.
Yeah.
Like I think Weekend Funk sounds good. It's not necessarily my favorite version of Weekend Funk, but I still think it's it sounds amazing.
Yeah. Although, sorry guys, what's up with all the meowing on the film version? Meow, meow. What's going on?
I actually think Round and Round is quite interesting because Round and Round has got that kind of like very dead drum housey feel, and Thieves in the Temple he obviously did a lot of house remixes, and he was very much in the era because he's had Mark Moore remix The Future and Electric Chair and things like that. I think that's the amazing thing. I think the fact that he can take these tracks from the vault, well, not obviously not Thieves have written for it, but I'm saying you take Big Bag and things like that, and but you can also incorporate new sounds like house music and things like that. I don't know. I actually think it's aged pretty well.
Yeah,
I think,
great comment from Vault Curator there. Go on, read that one out. That's a great comment.
Bob Gray says, I don't think it sounds dated. The fact that we all thought Weekend Funk was brand new at the time and it was almost 8 years old is testament to that. I think you're absolutely right. I think Tick Tick Bang and Joy and Repetition. I think I think it's actually aged pretty well. I think to be fair,
a lot.
That's when you consider it's 30 years old. I think it's actually aged very well. I listened to Thieves in the Temple today. I listened to it last week quite a lot, and it
why is that then? What are you doing this week? It's your go on Monday again,
it is. I'm doing well. I can't spoil it.
You can't say. Don't spoil it. Yeah.
But I think Thieves in the Temple stands up fantastically, and I think Question of You and even New Power Generation. I know. I think actually as an album, I think it does actually stand up. I mean, some people have argued that it stands up slightly better than Diamonds and Pearls. I mean, that's a controversial point, but
Artful. Oh, we get people every time I watch the show Top Chef. I hear Tevin's intro Round and Round. Wonder if Prince got money each time the show aired. I don't know about that.
I didn't know about that. No.
Check that out.
Well, all I'd say is knowing Prince, he probably did. I don't know.
I know. Vault Curator, there's an early version of Hey Man, Smell My Finger with George Clinton singing Lean on Weekend Funk. I think the meowing might be on that version. We're back to the meowing again, yeah. Oh dear.
When they say Tevin's intro, do they actually mean the bit where he sort of goes aye? Or
and there's a kind of dum 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 round and round. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sort of watch the openings to Top Chef now just to see.
Get Wild 24. Evident on the album with Prince updating it for the album. It's interesting because I would say with a lot of Prince's music, especially you might say a lot of 80s music is very dated and of the period, but so much stuff that Prince did, especially that mid 80s period around some of the Times Parade, and that is just so out there and so not what was going on at the time. It's just you can't pigeonhole it to a time period, really. No. I'd probably say the only albums I think, in my opinion, that sound of their time or sound not dated, but they're of that period, of that time, are the first two, because the soulful disco sounds of those first two albums are very much, that's the 1970s when you hear it, But if you heard the Grand Progression, or if you heard, All My Dreams, or whenever, that could have been recorded at any time. Power Fantastic, Girls and Boys, whatever. You could go, wow, that could be from any time, but listen to those first two albums, that's the 70s. Squelchy Simpson, sound effects.
I think it does stand up, and I think it's it's a really pivotal point for Prince, because like say you've got that run from his first album to Lovesexy, you've got Batman being this oddity because it was kind of it happened with the movie and it was a sort of standalone project. Then you've got Graffiti Bridge, and then that heads into that whole 90s period. So it's kind of, it stands alone in the sense of like a collection of, like say, lots of the songs he had up until that point put together in this big project. And it was clear that Prince really wanted to push the whole Minneapolis sound, the whole kind of like his coterie of acts. And I think that really is an important thing. For Prince was a movement. He wasn't just an artist. He wasn't just one artist. He was a whole movement, and you don't necessarily see that so much now. So I think that's a remarkable thing he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I've got to say, for Flame Your Red 24, I'd probably have to agree. Is it? I should read that one.
Yeah, go on. You can read it. Go on. I just saw it come up. Go on.
I think it's a timeless album, but Diamonds and Pearls was made specifically for that market. But the way it's put together still separates it from others in the charts at the time. I think you're right. I think Diamonds and Pearls, he was trying to be commercial and successful, and he was. It was incredibly selling album, over 5 million. It really pushed that idea of getting that £100 million, $100 million deal. But it's still holds its own because it's Prince. I was listening to Cream today, and Cream is one of those tracks where you hear it so often. It's one of the most played Prince tracks, but when you haven't heard it for a while and you still appreciate just how great how great it is, and Get Off, I will just
so which version? There's about 65 versions of Get Off, isn't there? So, they're all great, and that's without clocking the G's, Violet the organ grinder.
I love that bit at the end of the Diamonds and Pearls video. I used to love where kind of when he's playing the guitar and he's just going around going
I know. We were talking about this last week, weren't we? About Diamonds and Pearls. We were saying because at that time in the UK, the rave scene was so heavy, and it was non-stop rave music just dominated the charts, and Diamonds and Pearls just was like another universe. It's incredible. I'd never heard anything like it. It was so different from what everyone else was doing. Typical Prince. It was just amazing.
I think also I actually listened to Get Off a while ago, and I had a problem in my headphones, and I was only getting one speaker through, and all I was getting was the guitar solo. I was just getting the guitar solo, and you hear that in isolation. That sounds so amazing. It's an amazing guitar solo. It really is.
Danny's in the house. Where you been?
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny boy. Dear. So go on.
Artful says money don't matter. So relevant still. It is. He was ahead of his time with that, and I think obviously it's been very much during the time of the Gulf War and those kind of things. But it's still just as relevant, probably more.
Absolutely. So anyway, we'll turn our thing back onto Graffiti Bridge. I wasn't going to be on Diamonds and Pearls all night, which is it can quite easily do. Look, that's next year. That's next year's one, right?
We'll be talking about the Slaughterhouse Rabbit Children in a minute. Graffiti Bridge. Yeah.
Look, think how many anniversaries we're going to have now every year. Next year it's 30th anniversary of Diamonds and Pearls. The year after that it'll be Love Symbol. Then it'll be Come. It was like, we got plenty to keep us going.
We wonder if anybody here went to the Nude Tour as well. If anybody saw the Nude Tour.
Yes. And where did you see it?
And where did you see it? My experience, as I say, was I just adored that. My first tour. It really got me, just so impressed with Prince's ability at that time, and it was I just loved the look. I loved the way everything, worked. It was actually there's quite a few really good quality videos circulating, and I'd love to see a Nude Tour.
Wembley one, a Wembley show. Yeah.
I would love to, because you think about it. You've got Sign of the Times, the movie, which is obviously an amalgam. We've got the new Sign of the Times. Obviously, the New Year's Eve concert coming out. We've got the Dortmund Love Sexy. In a sense, you used to have the kind of the Nude Tour,
an official Nude Tour one.
Would be seriously fantastic.
and not the one that we've all seen.
The other thing is, sorry,
no, I was going to say, because everyone's seen the Tokyo one. That's the one that does the rounds the most. But there's also there's one from Spain, isn't there? There's an Ireland, I think I've seen. So there are a few of them floating about. I'm not sure which show the official video for Question of You. I'm not sure what show that was from. That's not the Tokyo one, is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because it's different. It has a different ending. He doesn't do Electric Man. It kind of just ends. It's like it was just done for the video, like shot. Maybe it wasn't actually during the show. It was just shot.
I think the thing is also that with the Nude Tour, I think. There's a lot of tracks there that he largely didn't do again. I mean, you look at most of the Batman era.
Yeah, tracks. I mean, you got to hear Bat Dance live. I mean, some of it.
I was trying to think. I suppose if you think of Batman, what did he really perform from Batman after that period? He played Party Man, obviously, and he did Scandalous occasionally. But like I say, there's certain tracks that Did we ever get to hear Lemon Crush? Did we ever get to?
We wasted opportunities there. I mean, come on. And Trust would have been great. I'd love to have seen Trust played live. It's such a mad track. It's like very cartoony.
Balloons everywhere.
Exactly. More floats.
Yeah.
Girl of Vault Creator, Girl of My Dreams, Can't Stop, We Funk 86, and Data Bank were not on Sign of the Times, Desire, Super Deluxe. I reckon they'll be in Save Graffiti Bridge Deluxe. A Nude Tour DVD could be a thing soon. All part of the anniversary, which they've missed. You know, whatever. We've been here before. Batman last year. Imagine that. You know, what a set they could have put together for that. But there you go. Hope Claiborne, what we got? Have you seen the sound check for the Nude Tour video, Prince and the band playing jazz? Forgot the name of the videographer, but hope he releases.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. You know the one where he's at the piano.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that is amazing. I forget the name of the guy. I do know, and I've forgotten. But yeah, that is amazingly intimate, and to see him do that, and it's strange to see Prince kind of doing the sound check, you know, in daylight in a big arena, and
that's right. Yeah, there's a great audio file as well, isn't there, of Nude Tour sound check. It's brilliant. Whether like if the drums go wrong, the drum machine goes wrong, and all this, that, and the other, and you can hear Prince sort of stopping things and going, "Well, you've got to have a plan B if this happens during the show." You know, it's just brilliant.
Exactly. That's the one. Yes, where like, you've got to have a plan B, and there's obviously a Nude Tour rehearsal, a video where Prince at the end loses his call with
yes.
I can't think who he loses his call with. He just basically has a big argument with him and says, you know, who's in charge? I'm in charge. That's right. You know, I'm in charge. Don't, you know.
Wow.
And I imagine it's quite a tight ship when you rehearse a Prince. You've got to be on it. And like I say, you've got to have a plan B, because if the drum beat fails, or the drum programming or anything like that, or any sound effect fails, you've got to know how to play that live and do it.
Because there's a bit at the start of that bit where they're talking about, for this performance, like the rehearsal, what city are they in, and they're going through different cities. And then one of them says, is it Philadelphia? Is it Philly? Not Philly. Where is it? He says somewhere.
Yeah. I think
And he goes, no, I hate Philly. He goes, they ain't even going to smell the fumes of this tour.
Their sound checks sound like a lot of fun. I really do.
definitely. Yes, there is a live Vicky waiting, actually. Yes, Danny. Yes, there is. Once, I think. I've heard that. Yeah. I love that track as well. Great. You know, obviously originally Anna Waiting, as we know, but Vicky Waiting.
I always think in my mind, you know, the bit where is it the scene in Batman where they're in the kind of armor room? Or it's one of the scenes, and they're playing it in the background as well.
That's right. It's playing it. When they're all gambling, it's playing in the background.
Yeah.
Brilliant, isn't it? Living room, dining room, Arsenal. Love it.
I love that bit. It's like, you know, do you spend a lot of time in this room? I don't think I've ever been in this room.
I know. I don't think I've ever been in this room before. You can imagine for the Prince doing that in Paisley Park. They could have done that.
And we did shout out earlier to Peach and Black, but I would like to say, obviously
we did.
They are amazing, Peach and Black, and it'd be nice to give them support. I think, nice for them to be appreciated. Peach and Black, when we first kind of experience of the Prince world, they've always been fantastic to me, and they as soon as I got into Prince, I listened to all their stuff, and they were really the gold standard. I really they've done an amazing thing, and the quality and of what they've done, and that was recognized, obviously by Prince himself. And if you get a chance just to sort of, I don't know, tweet or Facebook Peach Black, tell him we sent you. Tell him we sent you.
And tell them the check's in the post. But no, I really hope that they still carry on it in some form, even if it's only when new releases come out or something, because for them to stop is going to be such a loss to the community, a huge loss. So I'd be very sad, but I just, go and discover their stuff if you haven't already. They're amazing. Speaking of Anna Waiting, Graffiti Bridge shares a lot of songs with the Rave 89 album. I wonder if Prince abandoned the film idea after Madonna turned it down, then went back to it after Batman. That's interesting. Yeah.
I like the fact. It's a really good point, because Volker makes that in. I love that bit in Graffiti Bridge where you sort of the little Easter eggs of the Raven to the Joy Fantastic when he's holding the sheet music.
Yes, you see it there. Yeah.
Just love that. I love that kind of like that nod to these songs that were kind of considered and part of the Rave project. And the Rave project really, just went through some serious transformations. It's amazing, really, when you look at Prince's albums, because like I say, it's not how people usually do things. People, they get get an album together, they work out what they're going to do. Whereas Prince really, it just came together. And for Prince, it must have been really strange, because I don't know how you define the moment where you say this album is done. This album that's it. That's done. Yeah. That's ready for the next. I mean, Graffiti Bridge is 68.5 minutes long. So I mean, it's a substantial, substantial album. 17 tracks. Obviously, you can include the new Power Generation Part 2, which I love at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's interesting to get this balance. I mean, especially I suppose if you look at how many tracks, obviously aren't his, but especially that midsection, I think, where you go from Love Machine, then Tick Tick Bang, then Shake, then Thieves in the Temple, then The Latest Fashion, then Melody Cool. So you've got this whole run where Prince, although obviously Prince pops up in The Latest Fashion,
just a bit. Or My Summertime Thing.
Correct. Again, I agree. Peach and Black, like from what they said on Twitter, Peach and Black said they won't be reviewing the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe, which is a real shame. As I said, Peach and Black, that's where they got their name, but also it's they did such a fantastic job of the movie on the Sign of the Times, the kind of the DVD, and the commentary on that. They did such a great job on that. It would really be a shame if they don't. I understand it's an enormous amount of work, and I think Captain was saying it's you don't always get just a few comments. I think if you can just give a couple of comments, I mean, that makes such a difference when you're doing stuff like that. And they spend a lot of time on it, and it's a lot of a lot of work. And I think that just the odd comment can make it sometimes really
a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
definitely. It's appreciated. So I can't work out if Rave 89 was part of development of GB. I like Dream Factory. It was for sign it, or if Prince considered it a separate album in its own right. Yeah, it's interesting. It might have been, as you say, but it's so difficult, isn't it? With Prince did so many projects all at once and chopping, changing his mind all the time. And as you say, certain albums that will gestate for years. He mentions it then, and it comes out 10 years later. Tracks.
You've only got to look recently at the I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man.
Yeah.
He had that sorted out pretty much as it was way back.
1979.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
What's that all about?
Waited 8 years to come out, and it's not really, apart from the ending coda where he sort of says, "I can never take the place of your man, but I'll try." Apart from that, it's largely there.
You know what it is, definitely. It's just incredible, and you think, wow.
He just waited and waited, and
to the right album came along to the right time. That's what's just amazing. Like you say, not many people do that. A lot of people will just go in and write 11 tracks or 20 tracks, whatever, for a specific project, do that project, that's it. Do the videos, tour it, done, have a rest for a couple of years, come back and go again. But obviously when you're Prince and you're just writing every day, all day, all the time, it's just tracks. Oh, that, shove them in.
I think the problem is sometimes you have these tracks which end up just not finding a home. I mean, True in Love is a classic example of Black Album, then Love Sexy, then kind of it was on the Batman maxi single, the Scandalous Sex Street sort of edition, and it's just some tracks really struggle to, and some tracks like She's Always in My Hair
that's just amazing. Yeah, definitely. Interesting. Have you heard Mr. Purple Music play Cosmic Day?
We love Mr. Purple Music. Mr. Purple Music piano covers, I presume.
I think it must be. Yeah.
Love him. He's an incredibly talented guy. If you check him out on YouTube, everybody.
Yes.
Purple Music piano covers. He does beautiful piano covers of Prince tracks, and they are amazing. You hear the melody, and you realise how phenomenal a songwriter Prince was, because you hear those melodies in a classical sense, and you think they are remarkable pieces of art, and they are very timeless. And to hear that, so I haven't heard Cosmic Day. I heard most of his video, but I haven't heard Cosmic Day, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, see that one. Melody Cool, Elephants Still Would Stand All Time, crossed over from Rave 89 to Graffiti Bridge. Get what? I love Melody Cool, man. I love that track.
Do you? Tell me, go on, tell me, go on. Let's go for it. Go on.
No, I just love it. I don't know why. It's just I just love the groove. Here come Melody Cool.
I love the bit in the movie where I think it's one of her dance. Is Aura? Aura froze up like it sort of makes thunder like lightning.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it? Yeah. I know, because she's saying, every funeral I made it rain or something like that. She sings like every time I sang Melody Cool, and then she goes like that and makes lightning and rain come down. Yeah,
I like the bit at the beginning where she's like, I've had many troubles in my time, and I like.
Yeah, I know. yeah. I mean, heartaches, trials, and tribulations, survived them all, baby.
I'm still Melody,
and I'm still cool. Melody Cool. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I don't know why, but I do. It's guilty pleasure. Melody Cool.
One of those tracks you can't not be happy by listening to. You can't not be happy by listening to. You really can't. I think it's. Oh, what is he done?
You are a naughty man. Oh man, what?
You're getting that back in drinks.
Yeah, you are definitely. Yeah, you are definitely. Absolutely. Bless you. Honestly,
really, seriously.
I tell you, the purple community are full of such amazing people. They really are. It's just amazing. Oh, Torso. I want a Prince room too. That room's amazing.
Oh, you got to see my cushion. You got to see my funky cushion. Hey, we're twins.
I only bought one because I saw yours. I thought, where'd you get that from? I like that, and then I bought one. Support your local Prince talent. Yeah, honestly, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bless you.
Seriously, you're getting that back in drinks.
You are definitely. Yeah, you just wait. So the night child drinking under the table. Oh, it's terrible.
I'm on the Diet Coke.
We went out last week because we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and I still haven't recovered yet. So.
we also want to say a shout out to obviously Mr. Purple Music,
the other Mr. Purple Music.
Yes. He got us this amazing.
These are beautiful.
I don't know if you can see that. These amazing print of the thing. It's just amazing. It's like really beautiful, and to see that kind of it's quite big. So I've got to find somewhere to put it now.
Yeah, I know. I got to frame mine. I don't know where to get a frame now, but and he wanted to be on this video because Graffiti Bridge is very close to his heart, and he loves Graffiti Bridge. But unfortunately, we couldn't make it happen all on the same day. So really sorry he couldn't be here today. But MPG Trio next time, we promise. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. But
it's just around the corner.
I was waiting for that. Yeah, brilliant. I love it. Yeah, dear. Yeah, so this year, after I was inspired by your Prince room, so I started redecorating the hallway. I took my inspiration from like Paisley Park, just the atrium bit, all the pastel colours, the peaches and what have you, and so I redecorated. But I suddenly went to B&Q, came back with pink paint, and wife's going, what's going on here? Painting the walls pink and these other colours. I bought all these canvases, Prince album covers, and hung them in the hallway and what have you. And it's looking good. I've got a purple wall, I've got a pink wall, I've got it's like therapy, man. It's therapy.
There's like 2 bouncers outside his house now, just for security. Everything.
Yeah. Melody Cool full duet, please. Not in your life, mate. Wait till we've had a few drinks next week. Next month.
There are certain songs like that, though, aren't they? Melody Cool, which is you just feel joyful. It's just a happy song. It's a really happy song. It
is. I love it, man.
I love Mavis, and she's
Mavis is amazing. I mean, she's still going as well. She's still out there touring somehow. Well, not this year, obviously, but she was on Glastonbury. Was it last year or year before? She was there.
Yeah.
I think she quite often does later with Jules Holland in the UK on BBC Two. She's been on there many times. Shane Prince never was. That's really annoying, isn't it? It's like all the great music programs, like the people going, like, back in the day, the Whistle Test, and later with Jules Holland, and Prince avoided them, never went on them. It's so frustrating, It would have been awesome to see him do that, It would have been, I suppose maybe because he would have just taken over the whole show. You couldn't just have him as one person on there.
Once Prince has played your show, that's your show. That's your show.
Exactly. Diet Coke, Guinness, surely.
I'm being good. I'm on a diet now.
Water in there. There's water in there. Yeah, I've drunk and eaten way too much over lockdown. Not good. Did someone mention decorating? I can only do decorating if I can listen to Prince. Yeah, well, that's what I do. I wait till everyone's gone out, you see, and then I put Prince on, and then I do my decorating. I have to get into the right zone. She said some lovely things about Prince over the years. Bless her. Yeah. What my mum, yeah. You talk about Mavis, I presume. Mavis Staples, yeah. Artful, yeah. Oh, but nobody's mentioned the Nude Tour though. Did nobody go then? Only Nightchild. Come on, Danny went, didn't he? He must have done.
It was just me. I was just me at the concert, and
yeah.
You know, it was no, it was yeah, like I say, just, you know, a really amazing tour, and just to see that level of musicianship and to see that kind of energy he had, because he was, you know, just flying across the stage, and you know, the choreography, the whole, you know, it's just one of the coolest looks. I think it really is one of the coolest. I remember when he was filming Graffiti Bridge, I can't remember who it was. It might be Craig Rice, I'm not sure. Somebody came up to him and said, you know, right, okay, we're good to go. Are you going to go and get, you know, changed into your costume now? And he's like, no, this is my costume. This is what I'm wearing for the movie. This is my costume. And I thought he looked amazing. Yeah. His hair looked amazing. He had that kind of still that brooding sense that he had Purple Rain, that kind of like, you know, sort of torment and anger. And he was
definitely
brooding. So I think it was really interesting.
You see that a lot in the Graffiti Bridge movie, you know, it's in his eyes, some of the, you know, close-ups of his face, you know.
When you see that scene and he's leaning against the bridge, and like Aura's talking to him about, you know, every time you'll lose if you do that, and it just looks so, you know, and when he's loading the gun, and it's just you know, it's pretty intense,
Yeah, absolutely. Hope Claiborne. First time I went to Paisley Park, they blasted We Can Funk GB version through the studio main speakers as a demo track, and my body was shaking from the oomph. Amazing. You lucky.
How good are those speakers at Paisley Park? How good are they? I bet they're amazing, aren't they? I bet those speakers at Paisley Park must be like just the best you can get, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I did. Artful went at the tour. Wish I'd gone. Vault Curator says, I'm guessing Candy Dolfer wasn't on the Nude Tour, right? That's a good question, actually. I don't think she was. The Game Boys, Game Boys, what name? What did he call them that? Rosie, Michael Bland, Miko was still on that tour, wasn't he? I think.
Miko, Levi,
Dr.
Fink.
Dr. Fink was still there, wasn't he? Yeah.
And like I say, the Game Boys as well. Yeah.
I
was just looking at some of the set lists, and it's sort of interesting, you know.
Get Wild went 23rd of June and 24th of August. Brilliant. Still got my ticket stubs. Yeah, we will keep those, don't we? Love when he walks out in the fog to the future. Yeah, great. Yeah. I would Nude Tour first Prince gig. There you go. Yes, Danny, lovely. See, wouldn't he? Why didn't he do electric chair though? Wouldn't that have been amazing? You know, could have opened with electric chair instead of the future.
Well, I mean, this is like obviously the set list vary, but this is like a typical set list. From the beginning, they had they call it the DAT intro.
The DAT off the tape, thing. Yeah.
Usually it's kicked off with a typical set list would be The Future, 1999. Housequake with a little bit of Sexy Dancer in there, Kiss, Purple Rain, Take Me With You, Alphabet Street, including the latest fashion rap, The Question of You, Controversy, Ain't No Way, Nothing Compares to You, Bat Dance, Party Man, and Baby I'm a Star. But I mean, obviously, you know, Prince.
Also, didn't Jenna Alphabet Street? Doesn't Rosie do Rob Bass, DJ Easy Rock as well? It takes two to make a thing go right.
It takes two. Yes, you're right.
It makes two to make it out. We came down. We're going back now. I used to love Rob Bass, DJ Easy Rock, and they were great.
He did play some serious amount of dates in England. Like say, he went off to
15 or 16, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads at Wembley. Obviously, we've got Wembley Arena and in Birmingham.
Oh yeah, 15. I think there were 15 or 16 Wembley dates, and then obviously, there was you say Birmingham, Manchester.
I mean, the tour it went to Holland, Denmark, West Germany, as it was then, France, England, Ireland, Switzerland for one day, Italy, Spain. Belgium,
Ireland, you said Ireland,
You know, Sweden, France. I mean, it's not.
It finished in Japan, didn't it? Again, didn't it? I think like Love Sexy did. Yeah,
in Japan in Tokyo. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's quite interesting with England because he was in England June, July. But then he obviously came back also towards the end of August and played obviously also the Man City
Oh yeah, main road. Bloody hell. That's not there anymore. That's gone. Yeah. Gosh.
Oh, dear,
Amazing.
I mean, that was an amazing tour. I mean, like I say, we would love the DVD. I'd love the DVD of everything. But I mean, from what I don't know, but there's rumours at the moment about after the Silent Times, what will be next. Some people are saying it's going to be Parade. Some people are saying it's going to be, you know, Piano and the Microphone. Obviously, that's been rumoured for a while. Who knows? You get these little hints, and you never quite know what the plan is, because at the moment it's not really a kind of plan you can work out, because obviously we had Purple Rain Deluxe previously. We've had 1999. We're getting Silent of the Times. So you know, are they going to go back and do a parade? Is it enough for around the world in a day, or are they going to jump forward to the Love Sexy, or are they going? I mean, some eras are easier than others. I mean, you know, a Diamonds and Pearls one might be more difficult. Although saying that, Diamonds and Pearls, the beginnings.
You've got I mean, like that, you know, the version of Insatiable on that, I think I prefer the beginnings version to the one that's on the album. It's just so good. It's so good.
I really like that. I like the Live for Love as well. I think it's very
very different. Yeah. So you've got all that you could add. You've got, obviously, we know Diamonds and Pearls. That's again another bootleg. The tour, you know, the video footage has been circulating for a long time. The videos are obviously all there. You know, they were released as a video collection officially, weren't they? You know, with live clips. So you could package the whole lot together. Give us an Els Corp show. Give us the Diamonds and Pearls video collection. Give us the album. Give us the, you know.
Or do you go Love Sexy Black Album as a kind of compendium?
Definitely.
Album, the dark and the light. I mean, that would design itself pretty much. I mean, that's
exactly
the light versus the dark. You know.
Yeah.
The Parade tour. Parade mentioned as a special deluxe. I mean, the thing about Parade is they've actually taken a few tracks on the Silent of the Times Super Deluxe, which, you know, some could argue are kind of more you would associate with Parade, like All My Dreams and tracks like that. And you think, well, you think about that really as being.
Yeah, I don't know why they're on Silent of the Times Super Deluxe. That's odd, isn't it? Yeah. What do you think of time between releases? Get Wild 24. Yes, you could argue that we want more, but the bank balance says no. Please, just wait a bit in between, because some of these are pretty expensive. Although saying that, Silent of the Times Super Deluxe isn't as expensive as some others that have been coming out, as we've been seeing recently. There's some, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they were shown one that was, you know, twice the price, you know, of a deluxe version of another artist, another thing coming out.
All I would say is I think you can actually do both, because I think even if you get the Super Deluxe at, like, you know, a regular pace as they are at the moment, I don't see any reason why you can't put standalone DVDs out in the meantime.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can say, look, okay, before the next Super Deluxe, we're going to give you a live piano and microphone show. We're going to give you a live, you know, Nude Tour. We're going to give you a live Act 1 tour, whatever. We're going to give you, you know, a musicology tour. I mean, that's all those. For goodness sake, release.
It's not difficult.
Release the London O2 shows. Put that on the DVD package and say, look, here's you know, the DVD, and here's maybe even you know, an after show audio, whatever. Here it is. Put the London O2 thing as a you know, standalone package. You don't have to tie it with an album. You don't have to make it part of a Super Deluxe. You just say, here is, you know, the 2007 London O2 shows, or here is, you know, a musicology tour. You can do these things on their own and say, look, here's a DVD. It's going to cost you, I don't know, 12 quid, or you can stream it, put it on Netflix. For goodness sake, put it whatever.
Yeah, it's so simple. Yeah, it really could. Oh, hi Jay, 3121. How you doing, Jay? Love the Night Child Prince room. Yeah. Oh, one Super Deluxe per year, but do a few. Do a few smaller standalone albums every so often to keep us going. Yeah, that's cool. So we'll be reaching 80 years old when we get hit 1, 2 Deluxe.
I'm going to be like, you know, an incredibly old man, and they'll be like hitting 1 and 2, and they'll be like, we're going Hard Rock Lover Deluxe, and
Hope Claiborne, you should guys work for the estate. Question for you is my favorite. Yeah, great. That's a great track. Yeah, good choice there.
We're probably more likely to get a copyright from the estate than anything, really. Usually.
I've had many. Yes, I've had them knocking on my door. Yeah. It's not good.
I really shouldn't. I shouldn't have tipped him off about you, but you know.
You know, It's when I started building that symbol swimming pool in the garden. I don't know what's going on here.
I thought he's gone too far. I'm gonna have to.
I love that Patreon money.
I'm gonna have to sort of, I'm gonna have to tell the estate about.
Yeah. Oh dear. I don't know. But yeah, we've said this many times. We've had many rant videos where we've gone on about what they should do, and it's so obvious, and we all know. I'm not going to complain about what has come out. Some of the things they're getting there. 1999 Deluxe is absolutely superb, heading in the right direction. This Sign of the Times obviously looks like it's just going to blow the roof off. It looks amazing. Really hoping it's going to sound amazing. Rainbow Children on vinyl. So happy to have that. And things like that. So I'm happy with all of that. But it's just when they miss certain things. They could time these things to be on the anniversaries, like now Graffiti Bridge. And sort it all out. Next year what was released 30 years ago. Right, let's get that one out next year. Make sure it's celebrate.
It's going to be interesting whether obviously some of the deals change and about legacy and stuff like that. I think we've said three things. First of all, you need to get every album out there and available for people to buy. Just normal edition. Every album needs to be available at a decent price. I mean, that's one of the great things about the Rainbow Children, because that was going for huge amounts of money, hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And I think you get every album out there, every Slaughterhouse, every Chocolate Invasion, every album Planet Earth, 2010, which is another classic novel, not in America, so it wasn't released in America. Have them all, out there available to buy. But also, my fear is it's just his live legacy at the moment. I think he did so many shows, he did so many tours, and so many of those tours haven't even got a single DVD officially.
No, they should. Or an audio CD or anything. It's it's a good point you say that all the albums should just be out there anyway, not just waiting for super deluxe versions, which only the hardcore are going to buy, which costs a lot. Just the standalone album should all be out there anyway, just released back out there. The £9 whatever that you can buy. For a single CD, whatever, or just to get the whole back catalogue back out there. As well as your super deluxe for the hardcores, because otherwise, without it all being out there, no one's going to discover it, are they? So
that's the thing. I would say, get an Act 1 DVD out, get like I say, a Gold Experience show out, get all those things out. And you know what? I'm not saying you have to do it the traditional DVD route. You can put it on streaming. You can put it on the website and say you can download it and pay for it. You can even just say to Netflix, look, we want to put 15 Prince concerts on Netflix. Let's do this. Ultimately, it's going to engage him with a new generation of fans. They're going to watch the tour and think that's amazing. Also, Prince was always about doing things differently to other people. And I think by putting those concerts on Netflix and saying, we're going to make a fundamental investment, we're going to have lots of concerts on Netflix, and we're going to really promote Prince, I think actually many, many artists will then follow. And I think, by putting Prince on there and putting him as this kind of vanguard of like, you want to watch a Prince concert, watch it on Netflix or even go to the website and you can kind of, you can, I don't know, pay a download or whatever. A really high quality stuff. There's loads of stuff in the vault. Prince recorded everything at the O2 shows, everything musical, every tour he recorded. Yep.
Everything, even the sound checks, everything. It's just ridiculous, So we had some. What have we got? They still make mistakes, but the party's looking good. Yeah. Mr. Answer, yes, that's a yellow cloud. I'll get the cloud out. Yeah. No. I think it's a picture. I think the Sony deal was a bad move. It's already influencing releases in a bad way. It's the brass water beard did it, said Danny. Graffiti Bridge was slated by MPG channel last week. Okay. I don't know that channel. I don't know. I haven't watched that. Vault Curator, you can't flood the market in a digital age. Open the floodgates and release as much as possible.
That's a really key point, I think, with Vault Curator, in the way that we've moved away from that kind of 1980s, 1990s idea of you don't want to flood the market. The Warner Brothers are going to do too much. We're going to do too much. We have a short window here, and we need to pass it on to the next generation. We need to get people interested in Prince's music. And you're right, in the digital age, people will seek out videos on YouTube, they'll seek out videos on Netflix, they'll seek out videos on streaming, wherever they want. And I think you're right, you can't flood the market. You need to put it out there and people will find the things they're interested in. There is no sense in holding back a lot of this live digital stuff and saying we're never going to release it. Because A, it doesn't help his legacy, but B, if you don't release all these live shows, all you're doing is basically saying to the bootleggers, you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, the only way to experience his music at the moment is to join the Peloton or TikTok. Interesting ways of just,
I make my own version of Peloton because I run instead of cycle on a treadmill, and this is the Prince music and the time. And I tell you what, a lot of the time tracks work really well on a treadmill.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're right. Get the albums out. Can't get Gold for Love or Extortionate Money. Yeah, well, Gold's never going to come out until they sort out the most beautiful girl in the world. So
don't start with that.
And again, there's so much that could go around. Together, like the Come album and the Gold Experience could go together. There's so much material that were the early versions that were on one and not the other, and vice versa. All that stuff.
That drives me spare, that lawsuit, because first of all, this has happened in Italy a number of times where they've sued for certain tracks and it's been held up by everything. At the moment, it's a ridiculous situation. Everybody loses because the Prince estate don't get any money. The people suing the Prince estate for the ownership of the most beautiful girl in the world don't get any money. No one gets paid, or other than lawyers, I presume. So it's just a ridiculous situation which needs to be sorted out immediately. The most beautiful girl in the world, Prince's only UK #1 that he sung himself. Obviously, he had "I Feel for You," Chaka Khan, and Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares to You." But it's the only #1 he had in his own name, well, in the symbol name, in the UK, and it's so crucial. And the Gold Experience is, a really landmark album, and it just frustrates me just because of this lawsuit, which is just dragging on and dragging. It doesn't take this long. It's just crazy. I can't. It's like,
why can't they just agree to go? Okay, we'll just give you a share of it, whatever, and just get on with it and let the song be out there. Then because
there's been decisions for and decisions against, and all these legal. And you're absolutely right, because this is it. Happened in one of my videos recently. I put some background music, the Rainbow Children, and all I got was an instant thing from YouTube saying, the owner of this music wants to share the royalties. 2 seconds. It's on YouTube. They take a share. Admittedly, their share was about 99%, but
what do you want, man? Come on.
but I can't believe a deal can't be done, because at the moment everyone loses, and like I said, I don't want the Gold Experience hung up in legal challenges for the next 25 years.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, and the song sounds nothing like it anyway. It sounds more like bloody Cutting Crew, as we said. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, which is, it's just ridiculous.
Don't tell them that, they'll sue as well.
Oh no, shh. We owe a lot to the bootleggers, no joke. They've done a hell of a lot to keep Prince's music alive. Absolutely. There's so much stuff out there, unbelievable stuff that I would never have heard without them. All these beautiful people out there who file share, and it's not for profit. It's just because we're fans.
You have bootlegs, do you? Oh, I see.
Here we go again. I don't know the MPG channel. It's got a large number of subscribers. Okay, sorry.
If that's the MPG 3121, if that's that one,
right?
I'm subscribed to that. They put a lot of stuff. I mean, speaking of live recordings and various other tracks.
Yeah, Spotify doesn't have shelf space. Yeah. Final unreleased album. To be fair, that track "Taking Me to Paradise" is actually a really good song. Oh, is that the track that's the copyright claim against it?
We don't mind if it's a fair song as long as it's not too similar.
Yeah, exactly. It's not one of my faves. Bring back MPG Music Club. Yep. Overplayed, to be honest. Okay. Prince rare vinyls cost a fortune. The Gold Experience goes for about 400 quid. Yeah.
400. I mean, we saw Rainbow Children go for what? I mean, I've seen it. Well, some people used to ask for original ones like 4 figures, didn't they? But there were certainly hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. That's what was good about Rainbow Children, say, coming out finally, that it just stops that, nips that in the bud. You can get Rainbow. Well, I hope you can still get it. I know they're sold out quite quickly.
This is exactly what happened originally with the Black Album, isn't it? Obviously, once it was pulled, it wasn't until 1994 that you could actually buy it officially at a normal price rather than pay hundreds of pounds for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because at the moment you're better off waiting. I know sometimes obviously it's nice to have the original releases. Obviously, we all like that, And if you didn't have the vinyl now, because obviously, as we know, a lot of people got out of vinyl, went on to CDs, and now vinyl is obviously very popular again. But now, when I look at it, and I just think, I don't know, you might as well just wait, because all these things are going to get reissued and re-released. So you might as well wait and buy it then. Unless you're obviously really a collector. and want all of it, you know.
How long are you going to wait for your slaughterhouse vinyl? That's why.
Oh dear, I know.
To be fair, Emancipation is a good example of that. You know, that's to have at least have that out there. And,
yeah. Well, does anybody on this Graffiti Bridge anniversary? Does anybody have that on vinyl? Graffiti Bridge original vinyl? Well, it hasn't been re-released, has it? So I know some were reissued, 80s ones, weren't they? On the Parade, because I bought that, and that was a reissue. And some of the early ones have been reissued. But yeah, Graffiti Bridge. I haven't got the vinyl for that. Anyone got that? Is it good?
I got to say, yeah, it's just going back to that whole era. It's the reason I kind of fell in love with Prince's music, and it was something different each time, because I mean it's sizably different, Graffiti Bridge from Batman, and I think like I say, I think we're in a situation where the only thing about the estate is I don't know where they're going to go next. Like say, I suppose you go Parade, which is fantastic. I think there's so much Parade stuff you could do, and you can make that look really nice. You could really make a nice deluxe set with Parade. I mean,
with a movie.
With the movie, you know, there must be a documentary about them making the movie. They could do.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
You know, I mean, obviously the bit where they, that the young lady won the right to have it premiered is at Wyoming.
Right, Wyoming. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and he picked her up and took her, you know, properly as a date. Hung off his arm all night. You know, amazing. And then they did that gig in that little place there. I mean, that would be amazing. It really would. And also, you know what's interesting? You could include the movie in a color print as well, if you wanted, maybe. You know, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? You know, so you could have color and black and white, because it was it was shot in color and turned to black and white, wasn't it? I think.
Right? Also, the alternative opening.
Yes, and obviously the alternative opening. Exactly. Yes. Artful. Do you recommend the Rainbow Children? I've not listened yet. I'm taking my time. Really? Wow. If you've never listened to the Rainbow Children, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Wow. That you are so lucky. You know, it's just incredible. It's a real piece of work, that, isn't it? It's
a real I think musically it's one of the most interesting things he's ever done.
It's a masterpiece.
Volcarate says, I unironically would love Chocolate Invasion on vinyl. Oh, I would. To be honest, I would love the whole kind of the NPG. I used to love the NPG music club, the kind of audio, you know, files. Just you know, really, really amazing. There's so much stuff out there, and you know, like when Tora used to take over the radio. You know.
The Tora experience as well.
I get wild says it has original Graffiti Bridge with the H intact.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive. The H. I wonder how much that was then.
Was it a double? It's a double album, isn't it? Double vinyl, so maybe £25 or something. Or
what? Yeah, but back then, back in 1990,
I'm not sure.
About 12.
Yeah. Oh, Michel. Hello, Michel. Haven't seen you for a while. Hello. Rainbow is great. It certainly is. Yeah. Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, because I see it come up quite a lot, Graffiti Bridge, and the wonderful Rocket Pool sometimes have it there as well. Get Wild, as in Next Deluxe.
Parade and Diamonds and Pearls. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, Diamonds and Pearls Deluxe, in a sense, that show deserves to be on DVD, the Diamonds and Pearls tour, because although there's little snippets on that Diamonds and Pearls collection, you know, you have like the Live for Love and various little clips and Thunder and stuff. That's the thing that frustrates me about the Diamonds and Pearls video collection. I love the videos, but the bit at the beginning when it's like Thunder, and you're like, yes, and then it's like, obviously, you don't get the whole thing. And I would just love,
the footage was shot Parade. The footage was shot in color. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. However, the footage was changed to black and white before the film was edited. To get a color version of Under the Cherry Moon would mean having to re-edit the whole film from scratch. Basically, it's unlikely to ever happen. Yeah, I know it's difficult. I know they have. Go on.
I think they should get somebody in Paisley Park. You know, like some youngsters who are really good in sort of, you know, editing and stuff, and say, look, here's your project. Look.
Yeah, there's this guy called the Vault Creator. Yeah, he could do it. You know.
What do you reckon? How long do you want Vault Creator? Do you want like a week?
Yeah, you'd be all right in a week. Yeah.
Schoolyard on a DMP release. We'd also get something funky. This house.
Comes or something. Or
something funky. This house comes. Yeah, we would get that.
Oh yeah. I love Schoolyard as well. Schoolyard, Schoolyard. Great track. I'll do it, Vault Creator. Go on in. Phone up Paisley Park. Go on, offer your services.
How much do you reckon? What do you reckon he should set his fee at? I don't know. A free copy of the DVD, is that enough?
Yeah. A few coasters, free T-shirts.
Wow.
Oh, I've got a few latecomers coming in here. Hello, Shakira. I love the Rainbow Children. Absolutely. Hi, lads. Have you pre-ordered any Sign of the Times Deluxe? Yes, indeed. I've ordered the CD version from Amazon. Got in there the day it was announced, I think, and the orange vinyl from HMV. Just a double album vinyl from HMV. Yeah.
Well, I like to comment.
Or peach vinyl, whatever it is. Peach vinyl. Sorry, peach. Get it right.
Tour is hilarious. Tour is great. And they had that. I can't remember if it was Radio 1 or 2 when they had Tour take over for an hour, and it's like, you know, and it's just hilarious. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you eating crisps? You can't bring food in here. And what are you doing? It's like it's just brilliant. He's talking to Maite and Sonny, and it's just it's so much fun. I think Prince really kind of had fun with that, and
he loved doing all those skits at that time, didn't he? You know, like Exodus album, all the skits on there and everything. You know,
and how cool would he be now in like the horrible coronavirus times? Tour, he would be the funkiest man, the looking man that there was. But,
oh God, yeah, exactly, be perfect.
$12.99. I was close. $12.99. HMV. That was. I mean, you think double album in 1990, 30 years ago?
Blimey. I've pre-ordered a few editions. My wife is going to kill me. Yes. Michelle's pre-ordered some of the times. Yeah. Vault Creator wants a Camille test pressing to close the deal.
Vault Creator's pre-ordered. His wife's going to kill him. So I've just got to quickly write to his wife to let her know.
Yeah, just send that message. Yeah. With a delay in USA mail, God only knows when I'll get Sign of the Times Deluxe. Well, it can't be as bad as ordering from the Prince Estate if you're in the UK.
Oh, tell him your Prince Estate story. Go on.
My God. Well, this that I'm wearing recently came last week, I think, or week before. Last week it was, and a couple of Rainbow Children T-shirts, which should have been out when the album came out, and I ordered these back in late May, early June, and just got them in the middle of August. Just unbelievable. And on top of that, nice little cardboard box, about this size. That's that thick, very light. Cost me £55 in custom charges. So yeah, all in all, a really great experience. It was just ridiculous. You know,
I like when you wrote to them and they said, I
wrote to them, complained. Yeah,
it takes like I can't.
They said a ridiculous amount, like 9 weeks or something stupid, wasn't it? Or it can take from and then I got emails saying, the products there were issues with the production and things haven't been. You're like, what? If these things aren't even made, why you even got them on your website? You know, it's like these T-shirts.
I would just like to say that the last thing I ordered from Rocket Pool, I got the next day, and that's good.
Yeah, exactly. Amazon, you can get the same day, the next day, whatever. Anywhere. Most, if you Google it, anything from America should take 3 or 4 days, really. But obviously, we know things have been slow with COVID and what have you, and restrictions. But this is ridiculous. To order in late May and get it in August, Yeah,
I'd be interested if Michelle lets us know when she gets the Sign of the Times. I said that the post obviously issued the post in America. And I'd be interested to see how long, because I mean, obviously there was problems before with certain albums not get. I don't think Captain ever got his 1999.
He didn't.
I don't think he ever got it.
He didn't. There's my wife. Hello. Yeah, I'll pay her to watch the channel.
That's tragic. You know that. That's terrible.
You still waiting for the crystal? Hang on. Get what I've pre-ordered. I heard the booklet is in the same size as the vinyl one. Can someone confirm if true? I'm not sure actually. I think
That's what I am under the impression it is. That's what I
am.
I hope so, because that's what I believe.
Yeah. Mr. Ant's
told it is the same, and I've been told it is the same size. Yeah.
Mr. Ant's got a custom charge of a T-shirt. Yep, 2 T-shirts and two of these pendants. I ordered one for me and one for my wife because it was our birthdays in June. We wanted to treat ourselves. So £55 customs. Thank you very much, Prince Estate. I won't be coming back. That's appalling service. Yes.
Can I point out when Volcarator says, "Who's still waiting for their Crystal Ball 98 to turn up?" We're gonna be talking about the t-shirts next, aren't we? It was the Lotus Flower. It's gonna be.
Oh, don't. Oh, Trisha Keneally. Hello, guys. We love you both.
Oh, bless.
The book is the same. Go on.
Trisha actually means me and Prince, just like.
She's sitting outside in the car on a drive, being banished outside, with my son, watching it somewhere, Oh dear.
I received my Rainbow Children t-shirt 3 weeks ago, Shakira. 3 weeks ago. Wow.
The thing is, why wasn't it ready for when the albums were reissued? If you're gonna, it's like now they're offering all these goodies to go with Sign of the Times, all these lovely apparel and t-shirt, and stuff. But I bet none of it will come till bloody next year, probably, if you order it.
To be fair, you'll probably get it at the time the parade, special edition comes out, and then if you order the parade stuff, you'll get it when the Diamonds and Pearls special edition. You're just one behind. That's all.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. I'd love Lotus Flower t-shirt. I might get one printed. Sounds good. She's in McDonald's. The wife's in McDonald's. Well, there you go. That's nice to know your eating habits with YouTube, isn't it? Get me a latte, please.
I know Prince from 2005 and Baltimore 2015. Wow. I mean, now that was I think that's interesting. I really love the fact that I came to Prince in like 1989, and so I had these 10 years, just over 10 years of kind of stuff to go back on. And obviously that was at the time when I just knew about the albums. I didn't realize there was all this other stuff, this vault stuff, this live stuff, this outtakes, these B-sides, these maxi singles. I didn't know about all that. So I had that journey, and I think it's amazing when you come to Prince, later, because you've got so much to go back on and so much to enjoy. And that's an amazing thing. And like I said, that's without touching all the other,
I mean, if you're just starting that incredible journey, I mean, wow. I mean, just incredible. I mean, I hope the remaster Prince 2010. Yeah, I mean, well, that only got they didn't get released in America, did it? 2010. It was only.
I feel really bad because we got it free. Well, not free, but it came with a newspaper in the UK. Which one was that? Was it the Mail or was that before? That was Planet Earth, wasn't it?
Planet Earth was the
Mirror.
I think it was the Mirror, wasn't it? One of the tabloids. Yeah.
I mean, you literally get this pound newspaper, which you can just chuck away, and you get the Prince album. And the fact that it wasn't released in America is such a shame, because it's just, I imagine, largely been. It doesn't get talked about. I don't hear people talk about it much. So I think it's really important that we, kind of get that out there. How much are you guys paying for Super Deluxe? Well, I'm sure Mr. Ant gets his free from the estate, so I don't.
Along with my cease and desist, dear. H and I are watching you. Hey, Hayden. Hello, Hayden, my son. Say hello, Hayden. H, he's watching me. How much are you guys paying? It depends. Well, Amazon have changed how much it's going to be about 4 times, haven't they? I mean,
they put it up.
Put it up, put it down, put it up again. I don't know. I think if you got in there on the day it was out, you get it for what you paid for it at that time, don't you? I think so. Although it keeps changing. I'm not sure the HMV one. I think they're just the standard vinyl. I think can't remember how much it was now, just for the double. There's so many different price ranges depending where you're buying it from as well. So
plus Tony, there is a slight issue of he'd have to say on camera where his wife will be listing how much he's paid for the sign of the back. So
I paid £300 for mine. Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh, the Controversy fan club. Oh, I remember the Controversy.
Do you remember a video about Graffiti Bridge?
No.
We're supposed to be talking about Graffiti Bridge. Oh dear.
Yeah, we said at the beginning of this video, there's lots of people who do detailed research and stuff like that, and then there's people who just talk
people like us.
We're the kind of people who, like, you've been a random Prince meetup or a pub, and you just say, "Oh, they're talking about Prince." Rambling on at the pub. Yeah, that's it. That's what we do. Oh dear. Well, it's nice that way. You get a conversation going. You go off on different tangents and what have you. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I think. Sorry, I was going to say something amazingly profound and interesting, and I've forgotten what it was. But I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it's great.
Oh dear. Future Soul Song was my favourite track to play during lockdown. That's a lovely song, isn't it? Yeah, I love
I'm
that.
playing that today. That is so weird.
Mm.
Seriously, I actually played that this morning. That's quite bizarre. Are you listening to my? I played that this morning, and it's
Oh wow! Hope Claiborne's getting the limited edition vinyl box set of the singles next week. Wow, one of only 1,987, wasn't it? Or made? Yeah.
Well, I saw one guy who had about 5 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he bought it. Yeah.
Oh, weren't we doing a quiz at some point? 3 of those was quite enough. Thank you very much. Dear. We thought about a 4th one, but it never got off the ground. But maybe we'll come back one day with a quiz. Who knows?
As 2010 is so underappreciated, maybe in a few weeks' time, somebody might do a purple pick of the week of some track of 2010. I don't know who runs that channel. I think it's I'm not sure, Adore Cream or someone. I'm not sure, but as
dear, yeah, those purple pick of the weeks, man. It's like I love doing those, but so with so much happened with lockdown, I couldn't put my mind to doing them every single week. This has been nice just for Graffiti Bridge to be able to bring it back again and do a few of them, which has been really nice. So yeah, Tony Delta Booze paid 149 for the CDs. Yeah, Get Wild. I was in the Controversy Club. Yeah, nice. We may have gone off piste a little, but still good. What happened to Eileen Merton?
There's lots of threads on Prince.org about what happened to Eileen Merton. So there's a few things. I mean, she was obviously a key part of the Prince community for a long time, the Controversy magazine. But yeah,
based in Croydon, though.
Yeah, Croydon, very
rough place.
I mean, honestly. Look at the kind of people that come from Croydon. I mean, you've got Mr. Ants. I mean,
I don't come from Croydon. My wife does.
Oh, in that case, it's lovely. It's a fantastic view.
Dear chap, I come from Surrey. Lovely green Surrey.
Yeah. I thought you were quite posh.
Oh yeah, I'm well posh. Oh yeah. Oh dear. Has Private Joy had a purple pick of the week? Loving that song recently. I can't remember if I did that one actually. I don't think it has actually.
I love the fact that Mr. Ants doesn't know, and someone's going to have to.
I don't know. Can you?
What do you guys think of the statue they put? I tell you what I think of the statue. Go to my channel. There's a video about what I think of the statue.
Yeah.
I love the statue. Brilliant statue. It's on my Night Child reviews. I feel like
are you talking about that statue of you again? The one that they've put at the top of the stairs in front of the museum that you go running up at the top every day. And he gets to the top and then he goes, Drago! Yeah.
Very strange. These people from Surrey. The statue is beautiful. Go to my channel and advert. And I've got a whole thing about the statue there. And I should just do a little subscribe button here. I should do no. And no, I think I love the statue. I think it's quite classy, and I think it's a really. It kind of strikes me as the kind of thing Prince might have done at some point. I don't know why.
Maybe.
It's quite interesting. Mr. Ants got 3 commissioned to put outside of his house.
They're going in my Prince themed hallway. Sorry, Trish. There's a big statue coming next week. Yeah. Well, it's a statue of the Night Child. Yeah. I bought it from the museum out the steps. Yeah.
Leo K2K.
Leo K2K. Hello. Yeah.
The Croydon.
We got a Croydon posse in here. What's going on? You're going to be talking about the Blue Orchid in a minute and reminiscing nightclubbing days. Oh dear, I can see it now.
What are the odds here? We've got Get Wild, born and bred in Croydon. Leo K2K, live in Croydon. There's a correlation between Prince and Croydon. That obviously with Eileen Merton as well. This is obviously
I remember like the controversy for fanzine, whatever, and always seeing it was in Croydon. I always wondered where it was, and then thanks to Google Maps a few years ago, I found out where it actually was, where the building was. So it was near East Croydon. So
I used to love all those magazines. So you get Controversy. You get what was the there was one I really loved as well. And I can't remember the name of it. Brilliant. But it's like, so much time was put into these amazing magazines and these fan magazines. And, lots of these copies are still available like on PDFs, if you know some people.
Yes.
And it's just, to see those magazines and they talked about the lyrics. They talked about, this is all before like pre-internet and, some amazing resource there. Really, clever.
Yeah, it was great.
I can't believe Croydon. I mean, Croydon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Joe Bananas. So they're mentioning night spots in Croydon now, Joe Bananas. Yes, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was like a famous Croydon person. I didn't know what was going on.
No, it's a night spot. Not there anymore. Yeah, okay. Coliseum was good. Yeah, Coliseum was nice. Uptown. That's what they call Croydon. Uptown. Yeah.
Yeah, Coliseum in Colchester. Not that I live.
Yeah,
I was near.
Yeah. Leanne LaHarvett lives in Croydon. Yes, and that's funny. So, last year I was in the bank because I was working in Croydon at the time, and I went in the bank in the NatWest, and a young girl works in there. Well, young girl, she's probably in her 20s or whatever. I had a Prince t-shirt on. She started talking to me about Prince. She said, "Oh, my friend worked with Prince," or those ones. So what? Started chatting, and it was Leanne. She was a school friend, and yeah. Small world. And she goes, and I said, "Do you still see her?" She said, "Yeah, all the time. We speak all the time." She said, "Yeah, incredible." And I said, "Tell her to watch the channel."
Oh, Night Child, I love your room. Oh, thank you, Shakira. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Thank you. Oh,
you don't know what it cost. Uptown Magazine. I mean, yes, that was the one. That was the one. Uptown Magazine.
I've got so many editions of that. I love Uptown. Yeah. That's it. Uptown is you would have so much material there, and really. You know, kind of essentially fans, but writing to such a high journalistic standard. You know, I just I love that. I think it stands as a kind of permanent thing. Whereas I suppose obviously with websites they come and go, Housequake and things like that. But yeah, I loved Uptown Magazine. I kind of miss those days. That's how you found out about stuff, wasn't it? That's how you found out about
exactly. And I think you can still buy some of these, can't you? From Rocket Porn places, I think sometimes have some of these old fanzines, don't they? Controversy and some of those comics. Remember those Prince comics?
Oh.
You know, I had one of those. I think I sold mine years ago. But
I love that bit where you sort of like, I must go and rescue this princess, and Tony M's like, all right,
okay, yeah. They were odd, weren't they?
And then Prince tried to get in on it because of obviously with his his shop in Camden, he got in on the NPG magazines.
Yes.
Trying to get in on the magazine sort of section of it.
Yeah. Gonna have me a slice of this. Yeah. Oh dear, brilliant. Oh, I don't know. That's been good, isn't it? Nice to celebrate anyway. Graffiti Bridge and.
Graffiti Bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that? Some album was apparently 30 years ago. We go right back to the start again now. Yeah. Did anyone go to the tour? Did anyone watch the movie?
There was a movie.
There was a movie. Yeah, great. Yeah.
I think Uptown is where Pierre Nilsson. I mean, Pierre Nilsson is like the guy. I've got his book, The Vault. Dear myself. He is just amazing. I like you guys working together. Oh, bless you. Thank you. We do this. I think me and Mr. Ant, in a sense, came to this in a very similar way, in that we both came into Prince at the same time, but we both kind of just wanted to tell people about, Prince's work. We're just, people who love Prince's work and really want people to appreciate that. We're not like, we don't, spend thousands on our army of staff and productions and stuff like that. We're about just how we feel about the music and really hoping that people pick up on Prince, because the way I see it is I was very lucky when I got into Prince that somebody one of my mum's friends gave me the Prince albums and they introduced me to Prince. And if we can just do that to some people, anybody, just one person, that's worth it. And I think also just getting Prince appreciated. He's not in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, which Prince should be. I don't understand. That's ridiculous. How Prince isn't in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. But we just want all of Prince's work to be celebrated. We don't want Prince to be just this kind of Purple Rain guy. We don't want Prince to be, pigeonholed and forgotten about. And I think we need to appreciate, his whole legacy. And we just did it just for that. We just wanted people to know about it, because at the time we started, you couldn't put Prince music on YouTube where you get big trouble.
Yeah, big trouble. Yeah. And,
have you guys read the Uncut magazine special out in print? No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. No.
Supposed to be. I've seen a friend of mine's got it, and I was hoping to procure it. But I don't know if you read it or not. I heard good things, but I haven't seen it myself. I'm getting it secondhand from somebody.
Yeah, no, I haven't read that yet. So yeah, let us know. What's it like? Yeah. Mr. Ants, you're so lucky to have frequented Prince's shop. Don't start on that. There's a whole video. Just go and watch the video. I love that place, man.
They had to get an injunction to get him out.
Oh, they did. They did. I was so naughty. I used to take these 2-hour lunch breaks because they used to send me up to Chalk Farm and work in the shop. And you know, in that mid-90s, you know, there was no all this surveillance. There was no knowing where you are, what you're doing. You know, the way things are. You could just do things, you know, and get away with it. So shut the shop, put a sign up, gone to lunch, and toddle off down the road and go to the shop and spend 2 hours in there talking to the manageress, tell me all these stories about Prince and trying on tour jackets and things. I used to, oh God, I was in there so much. I loved it. Yeah.
Whenever I went in, they were always dancing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I seem to remember the cloud guitar almost more than anything in this kind of I'm sure I saw
as you walked in, it was in a case on the wall right in front of you. Yeah, yeah.
I bought like a little symbol necklace, and I bought the Camden, you know, the black mug with the
yes, I had that and mine broke.
Yeah, mine did too. Yeah, and
did it?
Yeah. And I bought the magazines, and because I didn't have a lot of money at the time, and I was just so happy to go to that shop, and it was like a Prince paradise. I mean, I imagine Rocket Pool is probably
closest thing you get to it now. Yeah. Definitely. Danny Tickler, I thought this was a Batman review.
Oh, bless. Shakira says, love both your channels. You both are so awesome. Thank you so much. It's really sweet. Thank you.
Hope Payburn, just subscribe to your channel, Nightchild. Can't wait to check out your content. Yeah.
We're small but perfectly formed.
I wonder where you were going. That
I have no idea.
Speak for yourself, mate. Yeah.
we I think we kind of look at it. We do it because we love it, and we enjoy doing it, and that's the key thing. We've kind of got this place now where I feel quite happy with where we're at. We're kind of you know, we're at the moment we're working through all Prince's albums and the associated albums. We just finished the Time second album. We're going to 1999 next, and we're going to work through every single album, every single tour, and to talk about everything on this Prince journey. So we're calling it, you know, this Prince discography, where we just go through everything. And you know, there's so much great stuff out there. You got Mr. Ant's Purple Pick of the Week. You've got This Is Prince. If you haven't checked out This Is Prince, what part are you up to? About 8, 9? You're like, you know,
part 8, I think. Yeah.
Fantastic. If you want to know the whole story of Prince, you know, definitely. Art for Us, was the jewelry nice?
Yeah.
I've got two. I've got to say that is
really nice.
You can get them in silver or gold.
Silver or gold, yeah. Just look on the estate shop, but just don't hold your breath about when it's going to arrive.
The chain is nice too. It's substantial, you know. As a nice, I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice, heavy duty, and it's nice. Yeah, I might be small, but so is Dynamite. I feel great. Fancy a beer sometime? Well, you never know. You never know. I mean, I'm sad I can't go and see his house. I'm always happy when I'm there. Oh, I need one. Really appreciate your channels, fellas. Yeah, thank you. As you say, what we do, like you've already summed up so well, but say what we do is just purely for the love of Prince, just to share the legacy, basically. And if just one person discovers Prince from what we've done, then job done. You know, that's what it's all about. And it's not about, we're not worried about how many subscribers we've got. We're not worried about how many views we're getting. We're not worried about any of that.
It's a good job, really.
It's a good job, really, yeah, because otherwise we'd be really going, oh, go. You know, it's like the discography. We put it all out there, and it's not about instant, they say, getting 10,000 views or something stupid. It's a slow burner. These things will be there forever for people to go and find and learn, you know, and hopefully discover. And that's what it's all about. And it's important work because we're the ones that experienced it. We're the ones who know, our generation. And, you know, if we don't do this, when we're all gone, you know, no one's going to know about all these experiences that we had. So we need to pass it on. So that's what it's all about. Diana Williams, blimey, you come in right at the last minute. Crash, boom, bang, door slams. It's me. Hey guys, what I miss? Almost forgot. Well, you've missed 1 hour and 52 minutes of rambling, pretty much.
Oh, it's a fancy beard sometimes. We occasionally make it out into the real world. Occasionally,
yes.
we really miss the Prince events, because usually we would get to go to like an NPG gig or a Revolution gig, or we go to the Prince parties. I miss We used to have Prince parties in London, I think Birmingham, so, but in London you could kind of go, and all the, you know, loads of people were there from the Prince community, and it was just nice to see everybody. We went to obviously the book launch. Was that last year? I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, last October, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Which was an experience.
Yeah. Yes, no, they're not always good experiences.
I look at it as we get to see people.
We get to see each other. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
You know.
That's what it's all about. Flame Red 24. Thank you both. First time I properly caught you live, and it's been brilliant. Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Yeah, we don't do these that often, but it's always good fun when we do, because we're absolutely shattered at the end of it.
Like you say, some people are very, you know, they've got it all laid out, and we just talk about because we love it, and you know, I'm just we're quite lucky to do what we do, and you know,
very lucky.
It's a great thing. It really is.
It is, definitely. Anything else? It was a happy shop, wasn't it? Well, Old Prince's shop. Oh yes, definitely. Shakira, Mr. Anson Nightshade, I love your channel. I love your reviews, and you make me laugh. And I love that you keep Prince legacy alive. Oh,
that's what it's about, Shakira. That's what it's about, keeping Prince's legacy alive. And
exactly.
And, you know, I always think, you know, the Prince community should be bigger, and more people should appreciate, you know, so many things that he did, and so I think we're going to actually, as it goes on, it's going to be appreciated more. And I think his legacy is going to grow and grow. And I think even now, like Spotify, for example, his streams, I think, will grow and grow, because he for a long time kept off music channels because he wasn't getting paid, you know, a proper amount. He wanted the artists to be properly rewarded for their work. And lots of people have learned that lesson. Lots of young artists now, Janelle Monáe, lots of artists could have learned that important lesson. But I think Prince is, now it's a different situation with the estate, and I think now it's a situation where they want to get, you know, that music out there, get people to appreciate that, and I think that's the interesting thing. And I want it, whatever it is, whether it shows, Grammy Awards, whether it's a statue, whether it's you know, books, whether it's, there's so many books, whether it's live show, we want to just get that out there to get people to talk about Prince. Because the thing I say about Prince is sometimes people misunderstand and don't appreciate how he could do every type of music, but I also think that people don't realize, you know, how remarkable this talent was. And I think the community should be bigger. I think more people will listen to Prince's music and really get into it. And I just hope we can just grow that, because I think, in a sense, it's exciting, because I think we've got a long way to. I think we can really make this community even bigger, you know, much bigger than it was.
Yeah, definitely. Have we discussed the movie? Yes, we did. We did discuss the movie quite a while ago, about like 2 weeks ago now, it feels like. Oh, I still have nightmares about the girl rapper at the book launch. Don't go there. Oh dear. Yes.
What was the rapper? I don't know what was happening at the book.
All I remember is the weird kind of noises that she kept doing.
It was very strange, because you had Martin Homent, who designed the cover work for Hit and Run Phase 1 and 2 in Baltimore, in the audience. You had Afshin Shahidi, a Prince's photographer, did a fantastic exhibition in London, in the audience. Yeah. And I just wish we had them on the stage to ask them questions, because they'd have been great experiences of working with Prince. They knew Prince. They worked with Prince. I mean, Afshin very intimately worked with Prince, and I think, you know, that'd been fantastic to do that. And, you know, I just, it was a very, very strange event, but
very, very strange.
very strange.
I mean, something I'll never forget in a hurry. Yeah.
So Leo K2K, we were obviously in the same room because at the book launch, we were sitting on the I say the chairs. They weren't really chairs. It was more.
No, it was
step,
kind
really,
of where the chairs used to be. It's all been ripped out. It's a very sort of Art Deco old cinema, wasn't it? And it all been gutted out. It's very odd, a very odd evening.
Hopefully we can meet when we are back to normalization at an event. I'll be the one with the purple face mask if you can't spot me.
I'll be the only one.
I'll be the one with the purple earphones and about 3 more pairs of earphones, because one thing about me is I break earphones like you would believe.
Yeah.
I go through earphones.
No. He'll be the one with a couple of little sexies on standby. And then you glide by him and you say, what?
I just like to point out also, despite contrary rumor, me and Minster Ants aren't married. It's just seriously. People say,
who is it who said that once before?
I think it was Captain, and I was like,
was it Captain? Yeah.
Just because you see us together, we are married. We are married, but not to each other.
Yeah, not to each other. No. Yeah, only in the like work kind of the video kind of format. Yeah. Oh dear. I don't know if you guys, thank you so much for what you have done for Prince. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your comments tonight. Appreciate you watching. It's been great. I meant to discuss the movie this evening. Yeah, I was joking. We did discuss it this evening. But it was because it's with a long live stream. It was ages ago now. We did discuss about the deleted scenes and the you know, the whole kind of the whole thing about the whole movie.
We said how Tevin Campbell basically was the star of the.
Tevin Campbell stole the show with his little twirls, Michael Jackson twirls, and you know, we talked about
Robin Power.
Robin Power, wow, and you know, the deleted scenes. I don't know if they're still on YouTube. Those scenes.
You can. I don't know if they're on YouTube, but I know Prince's friend did a video about 2 weeks ago, maybe, and he's actually plays the deleted scenes in a box at the bottom, so you can always see it there, and he discusses those. But I think they are available through what do you call it, the usual channels.
The usual channels, through the usual channels, exactly.
Say no more.
Yeah, there's some very, very dark stuff with Prince hanging.
Oh, Diana Williams said she was at our wedding, and we're lying.
Oh dear.
We're busted now. We're ruined.
We're busted. Yeah. Oh dear. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, but I mean, the Graffiti Bridge movie, as I say, I love it. Obviously it's not the greatest movie ever made. I did a review back, one of the first videos I ever did actually. It was, and I sort of then spoke about it then. And as I say, I enjoy it. I find things about it I like. Obviously Morris Day and Jerome are so watchable. You could just watch them for hours. They're so funny. You know, what Prince is trying to get across, you can appreciate. The performances are brilliant.
There's actually someone who did a really good video. I think it was called In Defense of Graffiti Bridge.
Who did that then? Some night child, night stalker. No.
Go to my channel, In Defense of Graffiti Bridge, and there's a video about In Defense of Graffiti Bridge.
This is his bumper right here, yo. As Prince said.
Sell the show, but
this is how he sells his show right here.
What do your wives think of your love of Prince? Well, first of all, I'd like to say a shout out to both of our wives because they put up with a lot. We neglect them sometimes for doing this. We're sort of in here doing this, and they put up with a lot, and they are you know, remarkable to allow us to do what we do. And sometimes, you know, we spend quite a long time. It might not look like it, but we sometimes spend quite a lot of time editing our videos, and you know, it's a lot of time. And you know, they put up with us and allow us to do that, and allow us to have a Prince room as well.
Exactly. Yes, I'm a little bit lucky. I can stretch it a little bit because my wife is a fan of Prince as well, so she loved Prince. So that helped.
My wife listens to Prince. I think Prince is in her top 5.
Yeah.
We got married to a Prince song. So
there you go. Exactly.
Greatest romance ever sold. We walked down the aisle to the greatest romance ever sold. So
that's it. Exactly. There you go. So you know, on reflection, do you think Prince making this movie was a good idea?
I'd say the one thing about Prince is no one could stop him from doing anything.
No, exactly.
The thing about Prince is he was always going to do whatever he wanted to do. I think you can't just remake you know, Purple Rain exactly the same. I think he'd moved on and he wanted to make that statement, and for him it's a really important statement to make. I think in a sense it's one of those things that I'm glad to have it. I'd rather have it than not have it. And you know, I think Prince could always you know, he could have made further movies. I mean, he did in a sense.
He wanted to. Well,
I mean, 3 Chains of Gold in a sense.
31/21 movie.
Yeah, I mean, 3 Chains of Gold probably has as much of a storyline as Graffiti Bridge in some ways.
Probably got more.
So yeah, I mean,
it's just strange, but I mean, overall, I wouldn't say the movie really hurt him or hurt his career. I wouldn't have thought, because you think, you know, he followed it up with Diamonds and Pearls, which is massive. You know, his biggest numbers that he'd had for a long time, number ones. You know, so I wouldn't say, you know, obviously, you know, it was a bit of a turkey, you know, but you know, and box office wise, and
I think it struggled in a sense of, like, say, in a mainstream sense.
Yeah,
that he could carry the movie for people who weren't Prince fans.
Yeah,
but I think from a Prince fan's perspective, you know, it's you know, there's some really important.
I would say it's not the thing you're going to put on to make, to get someone into Prince, put it that way. But for Prince fans, it's interesting,
I agree with Artful, and I just like to say that Artful, that's the point I make. In defense of Graffiti Bridge,
what's that
video, that it would make a fab stage show, because I
think that's what its genesis was. I think maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a play. You've got to look at it as a play. You ignore when you go to a play, you don't look at how realistic the setting is, how the stage is. You look at the themes about capitalism, about religion, about money, about art, and you look at all those themes. And I think that's the key thing. And I think the thing about Graffiti Bridge is, I think this is going to sound strange, but I think the idea is a kind of an idea that's gone throughout history, throughout human time, about about God and about spirituality and about about money and about what's important in life. And I think so that idea will stay. And I think, like I say, I think stage show wise, and do you know what? That's interesting actually. You say that, because this is slightly off topic, but not really. In that, obviously Michael Jackson has a musical, doesn't he?
Yes.
Queen have a musical.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there was, do you remember back not long after Prince passed, there was one, and did it get shut down? Wasn't it? They were doing one, wasn't it? And then it got shut down by the estate or something, because it was gonna be local, like in South London. I remember it was like it was gonna be in Bromley or somewhere ridiculous, or I think there was something, again, it was to do with the music, wasn't it? The copyright or something, and it got and the estate stopped it apparently. But then I thought there was talk about that they were going to do one, but I don't know. It was a while ago now. So.
Rock Creator says no.
No. What? As a stage show?
It's blocking. I got to say to Shakira as well. I totally agree. I think Under the Cherry Moon. I've probably Prince's 3 movies. That's the one that I've kind of ended up growing my appreciation of. And actually, when you take it as what it is, and you take the comedy, and it's so beautifully filmed, and I actually think, there's actually something really gentle and romantic and pretty good about that. I really do like that. Tony says, do you have to suspend your disbelief to watch GB? I think you do. I think if you ignore the sets, think you're at a stage show. Imagine just you go to your local theatre and you see that, and the musical, and he's explaining his situation through the song, and I think you have to kind of just ignore the sets, that everything like that, and I think you just have to focus on the key messages of Prince trying to find his way in the world and trying to find something to believe in. And you've got Morris, who very much represents, I think Morris represents, to an extent, this could sound a bit weird, Warner Brothers in the music industry, saying, we want you to have hits, this is about money, you've got to make business decisions, this is about what you need to do to be financially successful. And Prince is saying, no, I need to do what's in my heart, I need to be, I have to live with myself, I have to I want to sing about God, and whether it's popular or not, I have to go my own way, rather than just being a corporate business, rather than being
that's a really good,
like that where in Morris says, I think it goes, all checks payable from Clinton,
Melody Cool, Glam Slam payable to me.
$1,
yeah, exactly. It's there right in your face. Exactly. So I never want to see a Prince musical. They always cheapen the original music. Yeah. Although, did anybody go to the orchestra thing they did? Because that was as close to a musical as you're going to get. We went to that, didn't we? I've quite enjoyed that. Prince's music being played by an orchestra. That thing. It was done by Questlove, wasn't it? He was the one who was behind it, I think, wasn't he? Or it was at the Royal Albert Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful arena, and the Royal Albert Hall, and they played beautifully classic music. I mean, obviously, Questlove focused very much on a sort of mid-80s era, but like I say, when you hear that from an orchestra, it's amazing. We'll make a deal. We'll make a deal, Rock Creator. If we make the musical, we will we'll let you vet it first. If you don't like it, I mean, Green Day have got a musical.
If you don't like it, something.
If you don't like it, we'll start. But I think we'll somehow find a way to do Prince justice. To be fair, Vault Creator, if it's only going to take you a week to do the Under the Cherry Moon colour version, I think 2 weeks for the musical is more than enough.
More than enough for Graffiti Bridge. Come on, yeah. Oh dear, Under the Cherry Moon is more appreciated now than when it was released. Yes, definitely.
Wow, Shell saw the ballet. Is that the Joffrey ballet?
I thought it was terrible.
The Joffrey, the ballet. I love the ballet. I had that on video. The Joffrey ballet to Prince's tracks. Question of You, Thunder. They did an extended version of Thunder, which is I'm sure it was about 8 to 10 minutes long. It's just amazing. So Cheryl, that I've got that on video, and I'm going to dig that out now. I love that. That's
Leo was there. He didn't like it. Thought it was terrible. But again, it was an interesting. I've never been to Royal Albert Hall, so that was an experience. It was Christmas time, and and just hearing some of the music, I thought, hearing Venus de Milo played by an orchestra, or whatever, was
I think particularly, the parade era.
Parade tracks, really, with the Claire Fisher stuff,
Yeah, that's it. Anything with Claire Fisher, I think, obviously translates to an orchestra because he, orchestrated an orchestra. So, that's what he did. And I think the Claire Fisher stuff works really well. Some tracks work, probably others.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a birthday surprise. Oh, that is a hell of a birthday surprise. That's an amazing birthday surprise.
It was.
I mean, that was. I love that, and that's kind of way of Prince, outside the. I mean, in a sense, like say that's. I suppose the ballet is a form of Prince musical, really, isn't it? Like I say, it's just music and the ballet. I mean, I love that. I really. There's a bit in that Thunder bit where it breaks down and it goes really quiet and it goes long and then it just kicks back in and it's amazing. I remember on the video there was a guy with a blue hat. And sort of and a drumstick sort of banging on the thing, and it just looked like a lot of fun, and it was a really interesting idea because I think at that time he was very much into obviously a Maite as well, the connection of like dance and ballet, and I couldn't deal with the lead violinist. I'm trying to remember. She was quite I was thinking of someone else.
Trying to remember. She did a lot. She was very animated with it, wasn't she? If I remember right, she was. She did. That kind of changed the dynamic of a bit. I can see where you're coming from. Yeah. Brilliant. Oh well, I suppose we have to wind this then down a minute. We've been on here over 2 hours. Yabba. We could go on all night. That's the trouble. Oh dear. It's been brilliant. So Graffiti. So that's been pretty much Graffiti Bridge month on the channel, celebrating the 30th anniversary. We're going to close the month off with one more pick of the week from Graffiti Bridge on Monday by Mr. Nightchild. Because we did 2 each. So and that will end the Graffiti Bridge celebrations. It's been brilliant, and I can't believe the whole month has gone and. Just incredible. We will, as I say, we're going to carry on with the discography, and 1999 will be next. That's going to take some work, that is. But we're dealing just the album now, as it was, and we're going to deal with the deluxe stuff down that end of the line when we get to that. Because I think it's easier to do it that way.
We've got so much to do. I mean, come on, so much to do. So
it's ridiculous. willing to do the work. Definitely, and this is Prince. I'll be writing part 9 eventually when I get round to it.
I just want to say thank you to everybody tonight. You've all been, and do you know what? Without you, this would be.
There's no us. It wouldn't be here.
Exactly. I think you're just an amazing community, and we feel very privileged to be part of it. Prince fans just. Their knowledge is amazing. Their passion is amazing, and I just think that we just feel totally privileged every time we do this, and I can't believe it. And
totally blessed.
Big virtual hugs to you all.
Virtual hugs to every single one of you that's commented. It's so appreciated. Really, thank you so much. Thank you, Vault Creator, for your kind donation earlier. I mean, get you a few pints in a couple of weeks. It's just been brilliant. Thank you, everybody, and We'll be seeing you soon. Thank you, everyone. Everyone's showing all these comments. Thank you. See you later, guys.
See you soon.
It's just around the corner.
Yes.